Round one. Fight!
Hey, welcome to an episode of Tournament Fights. This is the start of a new tier ranker series we're going to be doing. So this is episode 96, Best Movies with One-Word Titles Decade Series. And we're starting it off, as we always do. We always start with whatever's most current. So we're going 2016 until now. So we did have to split up one decade, that's the 2010s, because there's just so many gosh dang movies that are released in that particular decade. Plus we bleed over into the 2020s a little bit because that could have gotten too far. But yeah, I am your host, Jordan. I'm just simply Jordan tonight. It's one word, and I'm amazing. One word. That's it. We're going one word titles. We're going one word everything. So let's go ahead and bring in our panel for tonight. We'll start with my co-host. We got Austin Pez Howell. How's it going, Austin?
Hey, and if you're not down with that, I got one word for you. All right.
All right. Sounds good. We also have joining us, we have Richie Goodacre.
I got one word for you. Suck.
Suck.
Sounds good.
Hey.
We also have joining us Chris Scott, the Casablanca Kid.
What's up? I don't know why it's double Casablanca Kid. Oh, well.
You're double.
That's right.
You're seeing double today. Are you sure you're not suffering a concussion?
Maybe.
3D. It's like Casablanca Kid. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. But we also have joining us, we have the Boston legend, Mr. Dan Skip Allen. Well, he's in Florida now, but Dan Skip Allen, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to be on with you guys, and I missed a couple of you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I'm good to catch up with y'all.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And then we also have, last but certainly not least, we have the Wolfman, Michael Wolfman Wyndham.
What's up, everyone? Good to be back on this show, and I was actually just in Florida not too long ago. I was in Jacksonville, Florida. So
that's about 2 hours north.
At my old stomping grounds for 30 years.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a very beautiful part of Florida. Absolutely.
The largest city in the United States by area is what I hear.
Is.
Yeah, Duval County. Orange County, Duval County. Those are the two biggest
goes
counties.
on forever and ever and ever.
Oh, yeah.
Give the sitcom championship as a background.
He switched it.
Oh, I didn't mean to switch. I must have
okay, now we're going to talk about the best sitcoms.
Okay. All right.
Yep, guys, we're changing it up here. No pressure.
Right, Simpsons and
let's see. You see a lot of one-word sitcoms on there tonight. So
Seinfeld.
The Simpsons will.
Hey, you know that would actually not be a bad idea though, to like dupe people, like do an episode where you dupe people. You like have planned a tier list. And then it's like how movie fights, they would say like, okay, this is your question. Then they would switch it all of a sudden. You're like, okay, now this is why you have to say these movies suck. And then it's like one of those things. So it's like you dupe them and you have a tier ranker, but then it's like, this is actually what the tier ranker is. So now no one's like prepared. No one's actually like, all right, whoa, okay. They have to like kind of, it's like a
It'd be kind of interesting. Throw a wrench into it and like flip it on people. Yeah. But But for tonight, we are actually doing best movies with one-word titles, 2016 to now. So Austin, as the coach, you want to break it down, let everyone know how it's going to work tonight?
Yeah, so we have some newbies here tonight, or some people that kind of need a little refresher. So I'm happy to do that. Yeah, this is definitely different than this is different than tournament fights. It's a tier ranker. So what we'll be doing is ranking these on different tiers, and as you can see right here, we go from S tier, which is superior. That's the best of the best, the cream of the crop, superior tier. So yeah, those big ones. We'll be looking to put 10 in the S tier. So we're looking for like a
10 and
10.
only 10. That's it.
Yeah, 10 and only 10. So even if we end up with more in the S tier, some get bumped eventually. We can only have 10. So I'll explain when we get there. But then it goes like grades in school, your A, B, C, D, F. We have some tiers in here for haven't seen. So we need at least 3 people on the panel to have seen it, to vote for it in order to make it up on the board. If it's only like 2, it goes into the haven't seen category. And if you want to argue that it's not a one-word title, I added that as well. And then as you can see, we've got all of our pool of movies. So it's just a pool of movies. We're not going to talk about every single one of these. This is just kind of the pool of movies available for nomination down here. So what we'll do is when we get started, we pull the tier ranker like we have right here. We'll start at the bottom. So for instance, Wolfman will start. Let's say he wants to nominate, movie A. He wants to nominate this movie, and I nominate it for S tier. And here's why. We go up and down. Keep it to a minute or less so we can keep the show moving. Get to as many as we possibly can in 2 hours. But it'll go to the next person. The next person will agree or disagree. Yeah, I also think that's S tier for this reason, or I think it's B tier, for something like that. And then we average out the votes and we kind of come to a consensus and see where it lands on the chart. But everybody, as we go up and down, we'll get a chance to nominate something, and then we'll nominate as many as we possibly can within about 2 hours or so. Then we get at the 2 hour mark roughly. We'll go to what we call the Hail Mary last chance kind of round, which will be your chance to do some last minute S tier nominations. I'll be looking for those crossovers. I'll explain a little more when we get there.
It's like a speed round, basically.
It's sort of like a speed voting round, but it'll be your chance to try to get something in there last minute, which does happen. So keep your hopes up. If we don't get to one of your favorites on here, you can still nominate it in the Hail Mary round. And then once we're there, we'll kind of do some individual smaller votes to kind of rank everything. But we'll have 10 in the S tier and 3 honorable mentions from the A tier. Kind of be what we're looking for.
All right, sound good. If you have any questions, just let us know. We're happy to answer.
It'll go pretty quick once we get going. Guys like Dan, Wolf, and everything. It's pretty self-explanatory once we get there. But like I said, I reposted the long list. We got over 100 here. There's a lot of one words. Well, we had to split this decade. We got quite a few available for nomination. So Wolfman, we'll start with you. Just pick something out from the actual tier ranker list here. It's in more of an order than what it looks like. I know it looks weird. Tier ranker was giving me some issues trying to upload them all at once. So it was like I uploaded like M to Z, and then I had to start over again with like L to A, like backwards. It was really weird. So it's weird. Actually more organized than what it looks, and then a few tacked on at the end. So it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, sometimes the website's a little wonky.
It's a little wonky. So, but if you notice, it actually starts with Megan, then it's like Midsommar, Minari, so it's actually in order, kinda. So we'll find it. But Wolfman, but you can just look at the list if you like that we posted, obviously. Find something you want to talk about. You can nominate for any tier you want to start with. It doesn't have to be an S tier, but if you want to shoot for that S tier, you can go right for it. And
you can go for bad ones. You can go for anything.
Let's start this show interesting. This is going to be interesting because I know some of y'all hate this movie, but this is the best movie out of all the ones I've seen on here. This is the best movie of last year. It is the just absolute masterpiece, A24's masterpiece, After Sun, in that S tier, baby. I'm throwing it in there. Justice for this movie.
You can try, but this is a consensus show.
Oh, I just read his review on this one.
This movie is excellent.
Dan
this movie is excellent, though. It is like the themes about like memories, about whenever we pass away, how we want to remember those that we are close to, and just like I haven't like cried this hard at a movie's themes before. It's really stuck with me. I'm still thinking about it to this day. This is just an amazing directorial debut from Charlotte Wells and a great performance from Paul Mescal and Frankie Corio, and great chemistry between the two. So it's excellent in my opinion. So S tier for After Sun.
All right, let's see.
To
What
be fair, your
Well,
name kind of gave away
see.
yeah, right.
After Sun, we're like after
boy.
yawn
Oh
from
boy,
Brian.
we'll see what happens.
No,
with
we'll
that.
see.
I like you
we'll
more
go
than ever.
But
Like
we'll
you
go
now more
to
than ever, Brian.
let's go to Dan. You got a minute? Where would you put it and why? What's here for you?
Look, I gave this a positive review when I reviewed it last year. I think it's a fantastic movie, but there's a lot of problems. First of all, the cinematography is not good. You could barely see this movie a lot of different perspectives. I mean, the editing wasn't the best. I do like the themes and stuff that Wolfman's talking about, and I'm glad that he resonates with it. I don't think it's superior, and I don't think it's the best A24 movie that came out last year. Whatever happened to Everything Everywhere All at Once, Wolfman? Come on, man. Nope, not for me.
That's the second best movie of that year in general, right behind After Sun for me.
Well,
it was like
wrong.
Well, Dan, where would what tier would you put it in? Because I should say I keep track of all the votes. This is for later for purposes. It helps us rank everything. So I need a tier from everybody. So where would you put it? And I keep track of that. A tier. Okay, sounds good.
A
tier.
All right, A tier for Dan.
A for A24. All right.
Yeah. All right. Chris.
For After Sun.
So I haven't seen this, so I can't comment.
Okay, fair enough. Richie.
Look, why do you do? Why do you do this to me this early, Wolfman? Anyway, I look. I appreciate you love the film. The performances are great. It just doesn't, it just doesn't hold my attention. I think like it's not a bad movie by any means, but I just get kind of, I just sort of. It loses my attention about halfway through. I just think it's kind of slow plotting over long. I don't mind slow plotting movies, but it's just halfway through, it just loses my attention, and then it kind of waiting for it to be over. But I understand the performances are great, but I don't put it up there as like a top tier sort of movie. So I'd probably get like a C. Sorry, Wolfman.
Well, Austin.
Unfortunately, Wolfman, I'm going to be in the same camp as Richie. When I finally did get around to this movie, I think there's some decent performances, but it was far from my favorite A24 movie this year. I've seen better A24 movies this year in the last month or two. Between Talk to Me and Past Lives are way better than this movie.
Past Lives, I might like. That's very, very close. That's excellent.
I like Past Lives way better than something like After Sun. I have a love-hate relationship with A24 anyways. But this one didn't work for me very well. So I'm also in the C tier category. Jordan.
Well, if you think those guys are a downer, just wait. So Wolf, me and you couldn't be more opposite on this movie. This is my worst movie of the year last year. I hate it. I think it's a pile of shit, garbage, boring. I was asleep in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
The pacing,
so boring. It's just if you want a good nap, like Brian has it spot on. I don't care about any of the performances. I don't give a shit about any of the characters. I don't care what's happening. Dan had it right in the cinematography. It's all zoomed in and weird, and it just it just doesn't.
It's made to look like
sense.
a home video.
You have to watch the movie three times, and then
3
YouTube videos to understand what's even the fuck's going on. It's like no way, no thank you. This movie is a pile of trash, garbage, F tier, absolute F tier for me. No way.
Wow, dude. Because
it is.
It's gonna be
boring.
Wolfman, it might get B tier.
I go to the movies to be entertained.
You thought Morbius was better than After Sun?
No.
Yeah, then After Sun, at least there's some entertainment value somewhere, and there's some action going on or something happening.
Well,
I mean, I don't like Morbius, but
all right, this is a consensus show, so S, A, 2 C's, and an F is going to be C tier, unfortunately. It just is.
Sorry,
so I apologize.
I'll be with you on some other movies.
You're going to get your turn to give me crap.
Piece about After Sun.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. Well, Dan, it is your turn. You can nominate something from the list. What you got?
I don't even have to look at this list. I already know what I'm picking. And I'm hoping you guys agree. I'm picking Dune. Dune is an absolute masterpiece of craftsmanship, cinematography, editing, acting. I mean, everything you can imagine a film being That's what Dune is. 6 Academy Awards this bad boy won, guys. And that's only half the movie. That's how great this movie. It's half of what we're gonna get. We're gonna get the other half, and you're gonna get like a Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2.
But it's not even like half the book. The next movie's gonna be long because the first Dune isn't even half the book.
No, I know.
It's like crazy.
I mean, I mean, the crafts, the score, the cinematography. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to let some of you guys talk about what a masterpiece Dune is.
Okay. Dune first here, Chris.
So I'm going to be the hot take here, okay, and say that I sadly missed this movie in theaters, and I've tried to watch this movie, God, like I think 6 different times, and it just puts me to sleep every time. The original movie, and I know this is like campy as fuck, but the original movie is good for what it is. It is good for what it is. But this movie is just like, what, did I wake up and miss something? No.
You're crazy.
The books are great. I love the universe, but this movie is just painful.
Oh, you're nuts.
I'm glad I did not pay to see this in theaters. I'm glad I saw this on streaming. Sorry, I'll leave it alone.
I've seen it.
But maybe you would have liked it better if it was
Wow, another F tier.
Wow.
No, okay, so let's go. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna say this. I don't know if we'll get 10 in the S tier tonight with this panel. We'll see what happens.
Maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah.
4K TV, the largest television you got, 4K, whatever. Shut the lights off. You're watching a gorgeous.
Well, then give me a copy in 4K and I'll try to make it through it. I have a beautiful 4K TV
Chris,
behind
you
me.
can have my copy right here.
Okay. Well, then send it to me, Austin.
Yeah, you can have my copy too. We'll send you two.
All right, Richie, what do you think of Tenet?
Look, I have no opinion. Haven't seen it yet. So I mean,
What? Who the hell?
that's less egregious than hating it. Just good.
Yeah.
It's better than F tier.
What rock have you been hiding under?
Well, it has nothing to do with me being under a rock. I also missed it in theaters. I have it right there. I'm waiting to watch it before the new one. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Nope.
Wolfman, I'm begging you here. I'm begging you, Wolfman.
We'll see.
Well, sorry. Like, I think I have to be along the lines of Chris. Like, I am not a fan of this movie. I think this movie is boring as hell. Like. And when the trailers came out, I was like, man, and like this looks so awesome. This could be like a new like really awesome sci-fi series, maybe almost up there with Star Wars. It looked that cool from the trailers. Then I went to go see it, and I was just bored to tears. They're just running through the desert. There's not a lot happening. I don't like Zendaya. If you watch our podcast, I'm not a fan of her. She's just brooding all the time and boring and a bad actress to me. And I just don't really care.
Whoa, if she's a bad actress, watch Euphoria, bro. She is like,
well,
we're 18 minutes in, and we've
not really my cup of tea. But the thing is that I am looking forward to the sequel because it has a bigger cast. I am going to go see and give it a shot. I don't go quite as low as Chris, but I am going to go D tier. I think it's D. So,
you guys are nuts.
So,
all right, Wolfman.
Wolf, what do you say?
All right, so it looks like it's already like unsafe, but I will say this though. So this was my first ever 40X movie. I saw this in a 40X theater, and what an experience that was! Like it was my yeah, that definitely helped because I came home. I loved it so much. I came home and watched it on like Max because of the day and date release thing, and I love the movie. It's a masterpiece. I've seen it like 3 other times in theaters. However, when I watched it at home that night, I was like, this is shit compared to like seeing it in a theater. Because like the thing is like at home, it didn't really have the same effect on me as it did like in a theater. This is that like cinema kind of movie. And I think part 2 would definitely be more up your alley, Jordan, because that part of the book is a lot like Return of the King, like kind of action.
And Dan, I'm actually hoping that when when part 2 comes out, they'll do a double feature screening with part 1, and I can watch part 1 and 2 on the same day or something like that. I'm actually hoping.
That'd be cool.
I assume they will because Denis Villeneuve is very passionate about.
That's what I'm hoping for, and then I can actually see it both in theaters on the same day, and then it'll be a
I just hope Dune Part 2 releases this year because of the strike happening and everything.
Yeah, we'll see. Spider-Verse just got delayed. A bunch of movies just got delayed.
Turned out to be.
Yeah, but I will. But For me, though, yeah, the fact that they were able to adapt the unadaptable, like literally Dune. I'm still reading the book, but I know about what happens in the books. But like that book is so dense, I literally have had to reread chapters because of how dense it is. Like it is just to understand it. Like that, just the fact Denis Villeneuve was able to adapt the unadaptable was just incredible to me. So I thought this movie was excellent. I would put it in the S tier personally.
Okay.
Thank you, Wolfman. We got some sense on this panel.
All right, so we got 2 S's, D and an F, but
F.
2 S's will at least boost it a little bit. It's going to go down to B tier, though.
Yeah, B tier.
Unfortunately. So that's where it's going to end up with the consensus. But
We're going to agree on anything tonight.
yeah, we'll see. That's what I said. This might be tricky. Chris, what are you going to nominate?
Let's see. Go back down to the pictures here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to nominate Nobody. I think Nobody is a phenomenal movie.
Nobody?
I'm glad I saw this movie in theaters. It is
Nobody-
absolutely an
nobody-
S tier movie. Phenomenal performances, incredible writing. The cinematography is beautiful. The music is phenomenal. The fact that they use so much practical fighting in there, and he actually learned to fight, that is him actually fighting in that movie, is freaking incredible. Especially that one shot scene where they're on the train fighting is one camera shot. Is fantastic. It's
You mean
a
the
freaking
bus?
great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the bus, yes. So absolutely S tier movie. And I'm glad I own a full sheet poster of it because of Dan, the manager that works at the movie theater over there. We go to.
Well, boss, I don't get along with
Yeah.
you. but anyways,
Richie.
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you
I like the movie a lot. It was a pleasant surprise. It's Bob Odenkirk just kind of being an action guy. It's very heavily inspired by John Wick. It's good to see Christopher Lloyd in there. He is cool.
Yeah,
I don't think it's S tier. It is definitely one of my it was one of my kind of sleeper hits of that year. It was like all that hijinks over what was it, like some bracelet, whatever it was.
kitty cat bracelet.
It is really good. I thought there was going to be a sequel, but I don't know if I'd put S tier. I would go. I'll go a light A, so A. But it's not an S tier. But it's a good movie. It is a fun watch.
Well, Austin, what do you say? About Nobody?
Nobody is good. I don't love it as much as like the John Wick movies or some of these. I think the John Wick is kind of the pinnacle of the secret badass kind of movies. Vengeance movies. There's a plethora of these kind of knockoffs. Let's say there's a new one coming out this week called The Baker with Ron Perlman. It looks really bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see it on Sunday.
I don't even know about that. I'm gonna have to see.
I've seen the trailers for it because it's actually at my Regal, so like I'll go watch it. But it's only got like 2 screenings a day. It looks bad, but I'm going to see it. But yeah, I think the cast is good. I have a mad crush on Connie Nielsen as like my MILF of Hollywood. I think she's I want to do bad things to her. But I like Nobody. It's not S tier level, but I'll go A tier as well, kind of like Richie. So it's good. Yeah.
So I just posted online that I watched 15 minutes of this movie about like 6 months ago, and then for whatever reason life got in the way, I wasn't able to finish it. So I went back and I finished it, and this movie's awesome. This movie is great. Bob Odenkirk. I think Bob Odenkirk. I've watched several interviews with him. I think that like he said he's a guy who doesn't really improvise too much. He just kind of like sticks right to the script. But for someone who sticks right to the script, I mean, he really gives a phenomenal delivery, just like great, like with everything that he does, especially like near the end. Like it was awesome seeing Bob Odenkirk with Christopher Lloyd kicking ass with the shotgun and stuff, and you have RZA that like comes in to help him out, like that. Really cool, and I also kind of like it that it's like you really see him get hurt. You see him like go through some painful things, but then he ends up coming out on top, and like it's really awesome. And this movie kind of falls in the realm of I don't have it in my personal S, but there's so many movies on here that it's one that if someone else were to bring it up, given the benefit of the doubt, and I would say S, so it'll be like a low S for me, but I'll still say S.
Okay.
So,
Wolf.
Wolf.
Better Call Nobody. This is a very good movie. I was surprised at the fact that Bob Odenkirk just proved himself to be like an action star. I was like, where did this come from? That was out of nowhere. But he was like, he was very good in this movie. Everyone was very good in this movie. The action was very top notch. It's not like S for me. It's not. I would say like a high B for me. So it is in the B tier because I still enjoy it. I like it. I have a fun time with it. If they ever did a crossover with John Wick, because apparently, spoilers for John Wick Chapter 4, you've had time to see it, guys. It seems like John Wick isn't dead because they're announcing a John Wick Chapter 5. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. But I mean, I know that this would be a fun crossover with, John Wick, having nobody in John Wick crossover.
Yeah. All right, Dan, where would you put nobody?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think this is some of the most wooden fighting I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he learned how to fight. I don't know where the hell he learned how to fight. This is straight out of the Irishman kicking scene. That's how wooden this fighting is. I mean, look, he's an old guy. Bob Odenkirk ain't young, but I mean, I guess a lot of old guys, Denzel Washington and all these guys are in these action movies where they're fighting and stuff. Liam Neeson and stuff. But that's what this is. This is just another one of those type of Equalizer or one of them Liam Neeson type movies. I mean, and I like him in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad and those shows and stuff. But this wasn't bad. This wasn't like awful or anything. I mean, it's passable to watch. It's like a C, like a 3-star review. So 3-star review equals C tier for me.
Yeah.
All right. So
what are the votes?
2 S's, 2 A's, B and a C. So it's going to be an A tier down
A tier.
here. Yeah. For now, averaged out. All right, Richie. What do you
Richie?
Change mine to a D. No.
No. Too late.
All right. I'm gonna go with one that actually came out a lot later than it came out in America here, but I watched it at the theater. It was really good. And reignited the conversation that horror movies should get nominated for. Should get recognized at the Oscars. And especially performances. I'm going Pearl. Pearl for S tier. Pearl is amazing. This movie rules. And Mia Goth is phenomenal in this movie, especially that monologue she does at the table there. This movie's nuts. This movie has everything you want. That closing scene is fantastic. I'm looking forward to Maxine. Maybe other one will be brought up later on, and I like that movie, but this is definitely the better movie. This is fantastic. And props to Thandie Newton, who's actually the mum in this movie, the Kiwi actress, New Zealand actress. She's really good. But yeah, it's a power. It's a sort of a one-person show of Mia Goth, and she's absolutely amazing. A revelation, and yeah, she had one of the best years last year. I think she's amazing. So Pearl definitely should be a stick.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
I'm going to be in the same camp. I love Pearl more than X. I really love it. I think this is one of the best horror performances since Toni Collette and Hereditary. I think she completely carries this movie in the best way. But I also just really like the story. I'm in that Pearl over X camp. I thought this movie was fascinating. Her journey of wanting to be this theater star or movie star and not getting it. I think the movie shot gorgeously. I like the daytime shooting they do in this one with Ty West. I think it works. And I like this movie from start to finish. And I think it's a fascinating character study. So I'm also going to go S tier.
Yeah. So you got Pearl. So that's like your daytime horror. And then you got X, which is like your nighttime one. Yep. And for me, I kind of prefer X a little more. Like it just kind of as far as like scare factor and like being creeped out with them shooting whatever a porno in this barn, but then you have the old people in the house and people are getting killed in the dark and stuff. It just kind of hit with me a little more. I do think that Mia Goth gives a phenomenal performance. She should have been nominated. She was phenomenal, but But I mean, just because of the sheer amount of movies that we have on this list that I'm just really high on it's just tough for me. I think I got to give it a B tier. That's just where
Oh
I'm
my
at.
god, this is going to be impossible.
So beer. So yeah, sorry.
Are we gonna get any in the S tier?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, the fact that Michelle Williams was nominated over fucking Mia Goth is unforgivable.
Mia Goth over Michelle Williams. I hated her in that movie.
Yeah, this Mia Goth. The Academy needs to nominate her because Mia Goth was incredible in this film. Her monologue alone was incredible. Like, if it depends on what you want, because X is like a homage to Grindhouse. This is like an homage to like Technicolor, like Giallo, or like, you know, kind of like that kind of horror. So like, so it was like really, to me, I preferred Pearl as well. It was just fantastic. But they're both very neck and neck for me, but it was fantastic. However, I think it's a little bit too soon for me to say S yet. So I think I'm gonna say A here. So like a high A, but it's gonna be an A.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long night.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
Dan.
Yeah, I saw this about a month early in a press screening, and I was absolutely blown away with Mia Goth, and I was a massive fan of X. I absolutely love, like Jordan said, the whole shooting the porn in the barn and the old lady, and then she played both the young up-and-coming actress and the old lady, because we know the old lady was technically Pearl from this one. And when we got that trailer that nobody saw coming, nobody knew we were going to get a sequel to X, let alone a prequel to X. And when we saw it, and then that monologue, like you guys said, some of this crazy stuff that went on, it's just like, wow. And then she does, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it came out at Sundance. So you have like three Mia Goth, Infinity Pool, which she's wild and crazy in that. And these are like in 10 months, she did these three movies. Yeah, those three movies.
But hey, but she was great in Infinity Pool, though.
10 months, yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
That movie just wasn't great. Them two, the main two actors, but the movie just was a little wild and wacky.
Agree with that.
But yeah, I love Pearl, and I love her performance. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. So that correlates for me for an A. So that's an A tier for me.
But you do get to see Mia Goth naked in like every movie she does, so which is kind of cool. But
was she naked in her Bond movie? Was she naked in her Bond movie?
Oh, maybe not that. But was she in a Bond movie? I don't even remember that, but maybe she.
Yes.
She was.
But Chris, what do you say about?
So I'm one of the few people out that has not seen X, but I think you just described the whole movie to me. But I haven't seen Pearl, and I know that movie is old as hell now. X is, I feel like.
That's not. It's like it came out like
over a year old.
They both came out last year.
Pearl is 10 months old.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds intriguing. I don't know. Or I know that movie comes up on every one of these. And I know Pearl is probably going to too. I just need to sit down and watch both those movies and seriously give them a chance. I started to watch X, and I think I was distracted with some other stuff, and I was kind of like, it's all right. Yeah.
All right. So
but I didn't finish it.
2 S's, 2 A's, and a B. Fortunately, it's going to be A because we usually need at least 3 to kind of scoot it up. 3 S's to kind of scoot it up in there to start. So, that's where that one goes. All right, Richie, let's see if you can get one shot. I'm going to go with one I hope would be a slam dunk, also an Oscar movie. But I got to find it here. So let's see. Let me go backwards. Let's go Joker.
Okay.
A initial omission from the list, but I pointed out needed to be on here. A movie, one of the few movies on here that's made it into my top 100. I think this movie's brilliant. Yes, there are clear homages to 70s films and things, but I think that's exactly what they are. They're homages. This movie could almost exist in the same universe as like a Taxi Driver. But yeah, it's a great character study with Joaquin Phoenix giving a literal Oscar performance. Phenomenal score. I think great cinematography. What Todd Phillips does with this thing, I think it looks gorgeous. Every time I watch it, I pick up something new. Some of the best shots I saw that year. I think this movie just gets better every time I watch it, and works for me brilliantly. So let's go Joker S tier.
Yeah, so finally we have one that I can agree on, because the Joker freaking rules. I love the Joker. I would throw the word masterpiece with it too. I think this movie is incredible. Like just from the trailers, some of the best trailers I've ever seen. You go into the movie. I saw this 3 times in theaters, and just from some of the like dialogue and the themes where it's like when it's like, for my whole life I didn't even know if I really existed, and then you see him his kind of journey, especially when he's talking with a therapist. Like that's one of my favorite parts I always bring up, when it's like, you keep asking me like, how are you doing? How's your day? Are you happy? And he's like, I'm never happy. I'm never. And like, it's just like just hits me hard. It's very powerful, from the laugh that Joaquin Phoenix has, to just like dancing on the stairs and like doing stuff in the mirror, and then like when he goes on the talk show, man, all that stuff is just like so good. Even his interaction with his mom and like the kid on the bus. There's so many moments that I could just go on and on about this movie, but I'll call it good there. Easy S tier, yeah, for sure. Wolf, what do you say?
So when I first saw this movie in theaters, I was blown away by it. Joaquin Phoenix is my favorite actor of all time. I think everything he's in is just, he was incredible. He finally won his Academy Award for this movie. It was deserved. However, the more I watched it and the more I broke it down, this is, I feel like it's not like just an homage. I feel like it's pretty much a Taxi Driver / King of Comedy ripoff in a way. Like, it just straight up like feels like it's like ripping off those movies. Because like it's almost beat for beat. Like it's just like,
not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Nope.
It's that's just how
he doesn't live his life to go clean up the streets, Wolf. That's ridiculous. That's it's not Taxi Driver at all. He doesn't go around fantasizing about murdering all the thugs in the streets. That's not him at all.
Well, he does fantasize about murdering people in the movie, though.
Like just individual people.
Only when they hurt him.
He's not out to clean up the streets and having internal monologues about washing away the scum of the earth. Like that has nothing to do with that.
Well, in a roundabout way, mate. I don't know. I'm kind of
nope.
But I mean, to me, I'm like conflicted between because it's even though I thought it was kind of a ripoff of the 2 movies, it was a very good ripoff. I'll say that. But so I'm like conflicted between either a low A or like a high B.
Oh my god!
I guess I'll say like maybe in like a low A. There you go. I'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, Dan, what do you say about Joker?
Well, spoiler alert, my favorite director is Martin Scorsese, and 2 of my top 5 Martin Scorsese movies are Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. And my favorite actor is Robert De Niro it just happenstance. And Robert De Niro is playing the Jerry Lewis character in King of Comedy in this movie. And obviously Joaquin Phoenix is playing his character in Taxi Driver. And you mask them 2 up, and you mask this man who's really got some issues, but the world is knocking him down. And I feel like the whole world of people, and I'm not just going to point the finger at specific people, but a lot of people like us, I don't know what you guys' lives are outside of here, that have maybe their bosses are giving them shit, or their girlfriends were giving them crap, or their families say, hey, go get a job, you lazy piece of SOB, whatever. And we're just sick of being beaten down by life. And this guy was being beaten. And so I really could relate to this guy on multiple levels in a lot of different ways. And yeah, this is an absolute masterpiece for me. And I'm glad Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar for this, because he should have won one for Gladiator. He got robbed about Benicio del Toro was pretty good in Traffic that year. So,
but I still don't think he was better than Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. Though.
Well, no, I love him in Gladiator. I still think he should have won, even though Benicio. I think it was Benicio del Toro's time, and he was kind of still young at the time, so they didn't want to give him the Oscar right away. It's at Oscars in Hollywood. It's a popularity contest, the Academy Awards. It's about whose turn it is, when they deem it's your turn, and so forth. But we don't want to get into that right now. I think this is definitely an S tier for me.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple of comments here. We got Joker. It was one of Brian's favorite movies. And then Mike was saying he thought Joaquin Phoenix would have won for Walk the Line. Yeah.
Lost to Jamie Foxx. Lost to Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, but also Wolfman, your favorite actor is Joaquin Phoenix. I thought that'd be an easy yes for you. But Chris. But Chris.
So I've talked about this movie at verbatim. Like, I remember kind of being on the fence about it. It really kind of looked like an art house film to me. And then my buddy's like, "We need to go see this movie," and it blew me away. Like, from beginning to end, this movie was so damn good. I'm not going to reiterate what everyone else has said above me, but yeah, this movie is perfect, and his transformation there is incredible. From the beginning of the dance to at the end where he's going down the stairs, doing the perfected dance.
That snare dance is amazing.
Yeah. And I love that moment in the studio where he turns on De Niro. Oh.
Also, one of the coolest last scenes too, when they pan out and he's like on the car, just like,
standing on the car. Yeah. That's one of the most beautifully shot sequences of 2019. Easily.
Gorgeous. Easily. And how they tie this into Batman. Holy shit. Mind blowing. S tier for sure.
All right. Well, Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. This movie is fantastic. I wasn't sure when it was announced. I'm like, do we need one? But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix was amazing, and yeah, S tier for sure.
Our first S.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. I got you. I got to come through. I always come through in the clutch, just like on Rank 'em. So yeah, there you go. All right. And to think, it wasn't even on the original list. I had to add it because Jordan.
Yeah, right. I know. Joker. Like, what are we doing?
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Jordan, what do you got? Let me scroll down here. What you got?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with one that's not right at the top of my list. Like, I'll get to what's on the top of my list eventually, but. I want to go with one that's still S tier though. That I want to see what you guys think. I want to go with 1917. So
you stole mine. You stole my next one, Jordan.
Yeah, sorry, but I think that the 1917. I remember going to see it in IMAX and wow, like this is one of the like best theater experiences that I remember having in years. Like just watching this thing, you're just enthralled. My jaw was like on the floor. All the visuals that I was seeing, and I was just like really blown away about how Sam Mendes basically does it all in one take, which is really, really cool. And
2 takes, technically. It does cut to black in one part, and then
technically, yeah. So there's that, but and like for some actors I'd never seen before that now I wouldn't mind seeing more things with George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman. They were both awesome. And then seeing some of the like little cameos, like Benedict Cumberbatch pops up, Mark Strong, like those guys, but and Colin Firth. But he was more than a cameo. He was like the general kind of guy. But yeah, like you were just engaged in this thing from beginning to end, and has an amazing score by Hans Zimmer. It's just like fantastic, especially the like night scene where they're fighting during the nighttime, and that building's on fire, and they're having to make it through all of that while being shot at, and it's just like really spectacular. So yeah, I gotta go S tier for 1917. Okay, Wolf.
Yeah, this film is far superior to Dunkirk. It's got several comparisons there. Dunkirk, I was not a fan of that movie at all. It just this one, at least, because I understood trying to throw you into the war and having this weird, this technical marvel and all that stuff, but give me characters to care about. And Dunkirk, I didn't care about a single goddamn character. While in 1917, I actually like cared about the like two main people that we are following in this film. So it's very well done. However, and hear me out, I'm gonna put this in the not one word tier because the reason why is this is a number, not a word. Because the word version of 1917 would be NIN, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's
but it's
the
also
word
when you spell it out,
version.
it's hyphenated, so that's one word.
Yeah.
Like what? Oh, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. That's hyphenated.
Oh, okay.
1917. Go look up multiple songs that are called 1917 books. They're hyphenated. That's one word. Hyphenated. That's one.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't use it in the word form. It uses it in the number form. Though is what I'm saying. So I don't know if that's still counts for me, but I mean, I would throw it in that tier personally because to me, I don't know if it counts as one word, but I mean, for this like for the actual number of 1917, like I don't know if that actually counts as one word for me, but if it was actually spelled out in the word form, then yes, it would be. But that's just how I look at it.
Sure, yeah, and we got a couple of people in the chat. Mike Schaefer. Oh wait, no, I got a pop up here. Here you go. You get pop ups every time I get a notification. Yeah, you guys got that. I don't really think that, but like he composes a lot of stuff.
He's phenomenal, man. He's a master.
Yeah,
I
can't stand.
Well, we should have got other movies.
No, thank you.
I like both these. I like all three of these movies.
Atonement sucks.
I like Atonement. Anyway, move on.
And then last two, I'm not consider one of my favorite. What war did 1917 take place in? Well, it's got to be World War One. But Dan, what do you think?
No, they get it. 1917.
I'm looking. I'm also looking at like song names and like it's 19 and then space 17 as like a word as well. So it's like two separate words.
But there's plenty that have hyphenated as well. Like I saw when I looked it up as well. So
yeah.
I trust Austin. I trust Austin, and I trust Jordan, who picked this because I absolutely think this is a masterpiece of filmmaking. By the way, Dean Charles Chapman is in a fantastic movie called Blinded by the Light. If you have not seen it, I recommend it. No. George McKay has got a movie coming out this year. Keep an eye out.
Is that Bruce Springsteen movie?
Yes. Fantastic. If you don't cry, you're just not human. It is. He's amazing. You're not even going to recognize him. I'll put it to you. You won't even recognize who he is in Blinded by the Light because he looks completely different in 1917. But George McKay is in a good movie this year that's coming out. I forget the name of it. I'm hearing good buzz about it later this year, so keep an eye out for that. Deakins. That's all you really got to say here is Deakins. I mean, the guy is an absolute master of the camera. How he was able to make World War I look so beautiful when it's one of the ugliest wars that have ever existed. And All Quiet on the Western Front really shows you how ugly World War I Malcolm is. But I still love this movie because Deakins makes it look so gorgeous and beautiful. And the two takes, they cut, I think we're in that barn, that's when they cut. But yeah, the cameos, you got guy from Game of Thrones in there, Madden, something John Madden or John. What's Madden?
John Madden, the football coach.
Madden.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean, Richard Madden? Yeah.
Richard Madden. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
You got to go in 1917. The strategy's going to be he's going to run down the trenches. He's going to really get in there. He's going to have to avoid the fireways trying to get a touchdown.
Yeah, John Madden. Yeah, right. And that's the play.
I'm going to tell it straighter here. He ran up this way, and then he tried to get him on there. There he is.
We're getting a John Madden biopic, and guess who wants to play John Madden? Will Ferrell. Come on, no, I'm going for John Goodman. We need John Goodman as John Madden, not Will Ferrell as John Madden. I'm picking him.
Or even Frank Caliendo. I mean, he's not Oscar Frank Caliendo. He did it on Mad TV.
That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love 1917. I think it's a masterpiece. I saw it multiple times. I think it should have won the Academy Award for Best Picture that year. I don't know what won that year. I forget what won. But
it was Parasite, which is better than 1917.
I don't think so. I think 1917. It was my number one movie of the year that year. I like Parasite. Don't get me wrong. 1917 masterpiece, A tier, S tier, S tier, S tier.
Okay, A tier.
You're gonna say A tier, yeah. But Chris, what do you say about 1917?
So I was obviously very late to liking this movie. I know for a while there I had a hot take that I hated this movie. Hold up, Dan. And then I rewatched it because everyone on this panel was like, you need to rewatch it. I'm like, okay. So I rewatched it on my 4K TV and fell in love with it. And right away I ordered it on 4K. That's how much I was blown away by this movie. Freaking fantastic movie. Absolutely an S tier film.
See, 4K does make a difference.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Right?
4K is just wow.
Oh, yeah, and it makes a difference. Richie, what do you say?
Yeah, I do love this film. I think it's really, really good. Yeah, one of my favorite sort of war films. So of the last few years. So yeah, part of me wants to, going to be spiteful because but he put Pearl in the A tier, you fucking bastards. But I'll go S tier.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, I won't hold it up. I'll go S tier as well. It probably won't be as high as something like Joker if we were actually individually ranking them later, just personally. Yeah. But yeah, for now I'll go S tier. So, all right. Yeah. So we had basically a sweep other than Wolf's vote of non-contention for not one word. So
yeah.
I still stand by that because it's very iffy. And Malcolm even said that we eliminated numbers in the actual chat, other ones that were numbers. So I don't know.
But if you go to numberwordcalculators.co, how to write out the year 1917 in words, there is a version where you can hyphenate it. So if there's a version, you can do it that way. If you were to
then it can count. So
go to Grammarly.
So duly noted, Wolf.
If Grammarly corrects it, you know it's wrong. If Grammarly doesn't correct it,
it's just it is right. The numbers that are on the poster. It's not the words that are on the poster. That's why I'm saying it's like not one word.
There's a few like number one. There's at least like 3 movies that are named numbers on this list. So. But Wolf, we're back to you. So what do you want?
All right. So I'm going to go with a favorite of mine as well too. The second best movie of 2021. Right for a while, it was my favorite, but it's right behind Worst Person in the World as like the second best movie of 2021. Maybe the best horror movie of this new decade we're in, and one of the best horror movies just of the 21st century. This movie is excellent. It is like a very Cronenberg-esque, like almost Lynchian, like crazy kind of film, and that is the masterpiece that is Teton. Every time I watch this movie, I'm just blown away by it more and more. This film just like
do we have that one on here? Oh yeah.
The like Julia Ducournau, if she keeps it up between Raw, which would be in my honorable mentions, and this, she could possibly become the best horror director working today. Like those two films are like 5 out of 5 masterpieces. Like this film blew me away. Yeah, it's weird. She has sex with a car, but like the themes, the cinematography, just the like this movie's so fucked up, but you're just so in it. And I'm talking about one take shots. The entire opening sequence of this film was actually done in one, not edited in one take like 1917. It was actually done in one take, to the point that they actually had to shoot the scene 20 times apparently because they had to start it over and then they would like start it over. Like they had to do it until they actually got it right in one take. So it was really, really cool. And not opening scene, but the scene after the opening scene technically. But it's to me just an absolute brilliant movie. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes for a reason. Should have been nominated for the Oscar that year. It was just fantastic. So Teton for me in S tier.
Yeah. Well, Dan, what do you think of Teton?
Look, I'm all for experimental films. I'm all for experimental films. I'm all for having sex with a car, having a steel baby, having the main guy. I liked him a lot in it. It just as times have gone by, I've seen this a couple times since I saw it originally way back when, and I just have liked it less and less and less. And I'm so unfortunately for Wolfman, I like a lot of the things Wolfman likes, and I know Wolfman likes a lot of things I like. I just am not the biggest fan of this, and I'm glad that France actually didn't nominate this that year. It was a fairy tale, the French version of a fairy tale, and I can't think of what it is at the tip of my head that got nominated.
Oh, Petite Maman, wasn't that it or something that was nominated?
Was it Petite Maman that year?
I think it was.
Okay, Petite Maman.
It might have been. I'll have to double check. But
I thought it was a fairy tale, like one of our fairy tales over here that they adapted it to a French film and it got nominated for best foreign film. I can't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Tenet in rewatches, and I'm with you. Raw, great film. I love Raw, but some of these type of weird criminal films aren't for everybody. So I'm gonna have to go with C here.
C. All right. Well, Chris,
Have you seen
you
it?
think of?
I have not
Cocaine or
seen it.
Teton?
So yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
France did not have a film nominated at the Academy Awards that year. By the way. It was yeah. So they probably would have, because Teton was actually very popular if they would have submitted.
Yeah, I think it was a big bugaboo that it didn't get in.
My turn now, shush. Anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I haven't seen this. I was gonna see Raw and never got around to it, but I'll get around to both these in some time. So I have to abstain.
Yeah. Well,
I only dive into French surrealism every now and then. I saw Teton, I own it. Didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it on Blu-ray. It's wacky and weird, and I can get with that most of the time. But to me, I'm not going to go back and rewatch it a lot, so it's a B tier. So,
and I have not seen it, so I can't comment. So,
all right.
It does have 3 votes. So
SBC is probably B tier, and we will go to Dan.
Well, I know you guys are going to knock this down to hell, but I don't care because I think you guys are just a bunch of crazy people, because I think this is an absolute masterpiece. And this is just because you might not agree with some of the things that are going on in it and the type of person or people this person turned out to be in his life. He had a lot of struggles, and he had a few people here and there that would help him, but he really had a rough upbringing, and I just turned out to be a gay man when he was an adult. But the 3 segments of this man's life, Big, Black, and Tyrone, I believe Tyrone, Little, and Big, or Black.
Moonlight,
Black,
right.
Tyrone, and Little, I think it was, and that's Moonlight. Moonlight is an absolute masterpiece. I think we're all in the same boat. Should it have beaten La La Land? Who knows? I mean, it was just one of those things at the right time. It just happened at the right time. We'll never forget that moment if you're an Academy Award guy like I am. One of my best friends, one of my buddies, Adnan Verk, called this for Academy radio. Moonlight won Best Picture. Moonlight won Best Picture. That's Adnan Verk. Look it up. He's a buddy of mine. He's on Baseball Tonight, MLB Network. And he worked for Sports Center and Baseball Tonight.
Wait. Is he the guy that used to work at WWE? For like
yes.
He
wasn't good at that. He was not good at that. He knew it. I was there in Tampa the night he got fired, man. I felt bad for him. Because they were filming out of South Florida at the time. University of South Florida. But I mean, like Mahershala Ali, Naomi, what you call it? She's M. She's M in James Bond movies in the Daniel Craig James Bond.
Naomi Scott.
Yeah. She's incredible in the first segment, and then I just think this is, and whether you agree with being gay or not gay or LGBTQ community or whatever, this is a coming out party for the director, and this is an absolute masterpiece of a film. No matter how you look at it, you might not agree with some of the things, but this is a phenomenal film. So I was always gonna put this in S tier. I was gonna do 1917 next, but Jordan took mine, so I'm going.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris.
So unfortunately, I have not seen it because I can't champion it. Only because I know everyone that loves La La Land kind of compared this, like yourself, and I hate La La Land. I don't get it.
There's nothing like La La Land.
That's the hottest take in the world.
They're different films. They're both great films in their own right.
They're just nominated for best
Yeah,
picture.
but just because they're kind of in that same like, no.
They're
I don't
not.
really care.
They're only connected because of the fuck up at the Oscars. That's the only
That's
connection.
it.
Yeah.
Richie's right. Richie's right. They're nothing alike.
That's like comparing
Anyways.
Pearl to Dune. It's completely different
Yeah,
movies.
right.
Anyways, I haven't seen either one of these movies.
Yeah.
It didn't really look like something that I would want to race out and go see, so I still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Richie.
Well,
Yeah, I really like Moonlight, and I appreciate the nomination. It's really, really good. I don't think it was the best movie that came out that year, but it is really good. So I mean, I don't have a problem if it get to the S tier at the end of the day, but I would give it a high A.
yeah. Austin.
Blind Spot. Haven't gotten around to it yet.
What?
Oh, you still haven't.
Nope. Haven't seen it.
So I have seen it. I was pretty late to it. I only saw it like 5 or 6 months ago, something like that. And this movie was really good. Yeah, I really, really liked it. I had a great time watching it. I think it's really cool to see his journey. You see the three different segments. You see him as a kid, you see him as a teenager, then you see him as an adult. And the thing is, though, for me, it's like this is another one where just because of the sheer amount of movies we have on this thing that I like more than this, I do like it and it is good, but I gotta give it a C because that's just where it falls as compared to the other movies for me.
That
So
doesn't
it's a
sound
C.
like you like it. A C tier.
I like it. Like the thing is, like we kind of hash this list out to almost all movies that I like, almost, and so it's like even the ones that I like have to get knocked down a peg because of how many we have for me. So
To me, CT is like a meh movie, but anyway,
It's like a forgettable, mediocre movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, I kind of rank them based on like numbers where like everything like every tier has movies in it for me. So you got to have some to see. So there it goes. But Wolf.
So yeah, this movie. First off, La La Land was to me the best movie of 2016. That's why I was rooting for La La Land to win. It won for, and I still say it won for 2 minutes. All right, that's my thing.
Yep.
So I still give it the win for 2 minutes. But it was. But I will say this: I watched Moonlight a while ago. I feel like I need to rewatch it because I was almost like in a weird funk when I watched it. And I watched it once. I liked the film, but there's like 3 Best Picture nominees that year I liked better. I liked Manchester by the Sea better. I liked Hell or High Water better. And I also liked La La Land better. So I would have personally given one of those 3 the win. But I understand why Moonlight won. It's a very well-made film, very just technically well-made. But I need to rewatch it again. But for now, I'd give it like a high B. So that's where I'd go.
It's all over the place.
And also, I'll just add to mine that I have 42 movies I like better than Moonlight from this list. So that's why that one's low. So
okay, S, A, B, and a C is like low A. On the consensus. So we go to Chris.
Chris for another pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Nope, and I never thought I'd ever be going with one of his movies in my life, but that movie surprised the hell out of me because I am not really a fan of his movies, as you guys know. But the writing is solid, the cinematography is beautiful, the acting is phenomenal, the music is incredible. Just all around, this movie is a perfect film.
Ooh, I'll take on that.
It blew me away. I got to go with S tier for Nope.
Man, we need to stop these hot takes. We're not going to. This episode's not going to. No, it's all right. I mean, people can like what they like. I'm just being dick. Anyway, yeah, to me, like I like Nope, but it's good. But it's the lesser of the 3 movies he's done. There's a movie on this list that's better than this movie. Yeah, I think it's good, but it's sort of one of the, it's not. That doesn't stand up like Get Out or Us. I'll just mention it. Us is better than this movie. So yeah, it's fine, but it doesn't stick with me as much as his other film. So I'd probably go B.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, Nope is a strange movie because I think it's beautifully shot. I think Jordan Peele definitely knows how to make a movie. There's good performances here. I just think there's themes in here that he understands, but I don't know if he knows how to convey them. I still don't quite understand how the chimpanzee stuff relates to everything else in the movie, even though it's a terrifying scene. I don't know if he even knows what the thing is in the movie. Like I don't know if he knows, like, there's a coherent story in there. Like I think it's a series of ideas that I don't think he knows how to convey. I don't think he's been able to top Get Out yet. I think his movies have been a lot of diminishing returns for me overall, even though I think he's a good filmmaker and I'm always interested in what he's doing. But yeah, even on a rewatch when I bought it, it was I was still trying to put together what he was trying to say, and to me, that's like, if I'm still confused by it, but not in a good way, like a trying to break something like I don't know, like a Nolan movie or something. Like it just didn't work as well. So I'm in the B tier as well. I think it's a solid movie overall. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that Nope is the movie that I didn't get at first, so I'm like I don't really know what to think about this one. I don't get what is even happening. But then over time I saw it a couple more times, and I've done some research on this movie also, and gained an appreciation for it. So like one of the things that after watching some interviews that the whole like monkey scene. So Jordan Peele, he was on Mad TV. They actually shot that scene on the same set that they shot Mad TV on, and for him that was an homage because he thought that like he was so mistreated with his time there, and that like he had some issues to work out and like things he didn't really like, and so all the different family members apparently they represent different cast members, like the little Asian boys Bobby Lee, and then there's a few other ones that represent some of the other cast members. And it's kind of interesting. Like I actually kind of dig that take, and I like some of the references, like to Saturday Night Live. He's talking about Chris Kattan and all that stuff. That appeals to me personally. But and then also say that the sound design is phenomenal. I think that the sound's really, really good. And then also what they do with the lighting, because they have these dark scenes that are in like the pitch black of night. You can still see like really, really clearly. They're not as dark as like certain other movies. And I think that like what they do with that type of lighting was actually kind of groundbreaking. Like they did some really cool stuff with it. And I also love Keke Palmer in this movie and Daniel Kaluuya. But like it had one of my biggest laughs of the year when she's like just when I thought that you couldn't do anything better, that you went and got someone with a non-electrical camera. Let's go! And she's like doing the high five kind of thing. That got a big laugh from me. And yeah, I think this movie is really, really good. I just don't think like that it goes quite to S tier for me, because I do kind of like Get Out a little bit more, but it's definitely an A tier. So I'll say A for Nope. But Wolf, what do you say?
So this is not my favorite Jordan Peele film, but my favorite Jordan Peele film y'all absolutely hate, which is Us. But but to me though, it's not my favorite. It's his best directed film. I think the directing in this film is excellent. And part of the reason why is what it's about. And I'm with you, Austin. It took me a long time to really understand what it's about. But as I watched it, I feel like the film is about the film industry. Like I watched a lot, like there's that guy who wants to get that perfect shot of the spaceship and everything like that, and he's like trying to, and he'll go to any lengths he can to get it. And just with some of the other characters and their background in film, I feel like the film is a commentary on the film industry itself, which I thought was really fascinating. And so this is definitely my second favorite Jordan Peele film, I think. But it's the sound design, the fact that like I can't even believe they didn't even nominate this at the Oscars for stuff technical wise like that. Like it's I can't. It's just they're stupid.
I think they should have been nominated. Yeah.
But yeah, I will say like low A for this movie because I still enjoy it, but I think it's still quite good, but it's just not quite an all timer S tier for me.
And I don't think Keke Palmer was nominated for supporting. I think she should have, in my opinion.
She was great.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I mean, I think she's technically the lead of that movie, so that's why I would put her in.
Yeah,
lead,
I mean, she
not
might
supporting.
be. Yeah, yeah, but Dan, what do you think about Nope?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I gave this a high review when I reviewed it. I think the IMAX, seeing it in IMAX really made a big difference for me when I was watching this movie. And I'm glad how you explained some of the stuff to people out there. I don't know how many people are watching, but glad you did that, Jordan. I think that's because this movie is confusing. And I mean, it's straightforward. It's people would think it's just this alien, abduction movie where the aliens are coming down. These guys are trying to fight for their lives in this house and stuff and try to see these aliens. But that whole thing with Stephen Yeun and the monkeys and stuff, that makes a lot of sense how you explained it, and that was some wild stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like a lot of you guys. This is actually my third favorite Jordan Peele film behind Get Out and Us. And I really liked all his. I like all his films. He's one of the few auteur directors that we just it's like we call it appointment television, but it's also appointment movie going like we did last weekend with Barbie and Oppenheimer. Greta Gerwig and Christopher Nolan are like appointment movie going, where there's certain directors where when we know they got a movie coming out. My main man, Martin Scorsese's got one coming out in October.
Yep.
I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be there to see Spielberg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all his movies, whether you like them or you don't like them, they're just achievements, and it's gonna see something you never saw before with Jordan Peele. So, but I'm also gonna go with a B. I think a B tier here. I think there's a lot of movies on this list, and I think B is fair.
Okay, so
Yes. What are the votes at?
S, 2 A's, 3 B's. So
Right,
it might
A somewhere.
skirt into like
Low
a
A.
low A, maybe.
3
Yeah,
B's.
that's your vote. Yeah, I know 3 B's, but it's
If
like
it's
right
3
on-
B's, that's majority vote, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
We also
Yeah,
had
but
an
it also
S.
has an S. It also has an S.
Yeah.
It's kind of right on
Yeah,
the
it
board.
does.
It's right on the
We
board.
kind of average it out. We don't necessarily go majority. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
it's kind of an average, but
Okay, so
we'll see what
you
happens.
got an A still.
Yeah. So
So
could make honorable mention. We'll see.
We'll see.
So, yeah. But,
Richie.
yeah. You're up. What do you
Alright.
want to pick?
Okay, this has been a wacky episode, so I don't even know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
I knew it would be wacky, so that's why I was excited for it. I think this is fun.
Absolutely.
All right. You know what? I'll go with this because I think it's definitely one of the better horror movies that we've gotten in the last few years. One of the better remakes. I'll go with It for S tier.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you were going to go for something else for a second there. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I think It is really, really good. I think there's obviously a bit of hesitation there, but like of it being remade. But I think they do a really, really good job at building tension. I think Bill Skarsgård is a very, very good Pennywise. I just think everything works here. I love it, and I like made a shitload of money, so a lot of other people did too. And I mean, it chapter 2 is not as good, but still very good. But this is one of those more solid. I think this is a really, really good effort, and it's the reason why I think Annie Machete. I keep forgetting his name. Shit. Yeah, like there's a reason why he's being tapped to direct these like big movies. I mean, I know Flash didn't sort of fully work out, maybe like financially, but like there's I'm still looking forward to his I'm still looking forward to his Brave and the Bold movie. I think I think that'd be good. So it's probably not where I thought I'd be nominating this early, but So I really like it, and it's glued close to the book, and I think it's really good. So It for S tier.
GP pointing out that luckily they both skipped the orgy. Yeah, I remember reading that in the book. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. They skirt around it in it, but they don't go there.
They do skirt around it.
So,
Yeah.
but Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go with like a low S tier for it. I think it's really rewatchable. And obviously the chemistry between all the kids certainly helps. And you could the reason why it works and why a lot of these horror movies sort of like that work is because you feel like you could watch a movie just about those kids without Pennywise, and it would still work as just a fun kind of coming of age movie with those kids, sort of a Stand By Me type situation. And that's the sign of a good movie if you'd be happy just watching these kids kind of have a summer together, and it works. And you just throw in a great, scary clown performance with Bill Skarsgård, and it's just a icing on the cake, essentially. And all the sequences where he does the different things, preying on their fears, are really great, and all their individual characteristics. I think it helps build the characters really well. And I mean, I think it's still the most successful R-rated horror movie ever, made like $800 million or something wacky, like some insane amount of money. Oh yeah, that movie made a ton of money. That movie made almost $1 billion, which was nuts for like an R-rated horror movie. Yeah, I'll look
almost
it up.
$1 billion.
Yeah, but it made a ton of money. But a great horror theater experience. I remember having an IMAX when I saw it. It was great. Everybody had a wonderful time. So yeah, I'll go with a light S tier for it. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm in the chat's pointing out that it's technically called It Chapter 1. Maybe
no, it's not. Go look it up on IMDb. It's still called It.
Yeah.
What's with all these technically things? It's on the poster. This is it.
It's just it.
Yeah.
No, go look it up on IMDb. It's still it. It Chapter 2 is called It Chapter 2. And if you look it up if you Google it, it's just it. So
yeah. And I think I'll say a low S tier also. Like I'm on board with the rest of you guys. I think that the really solid movie, and some of my favorite movies are just movies about ragtag group of kids just running around, like movies like The Sandlot or The Goonies or like things like that. Like I had a lot of fun with those types of movies, and it was like probably one of the last horror movies where I was there at the sold out audience. The theater was absolutely packed, and movies are fun. I don't like doing them every single time, but once in a while, like it's fun to have that environment, and I think that the cast is really, really solid. Bill Skarsgård makes a phenomenal Pennywise, like so creepy, and like that projector scene is like really, really good. And I think these kids all have great chemistry. It works really well. It has humor. It has good scares in it. So I'll say S tier. It might be a low one, but I'll say S tier.
But it wasn't as high as what I said, but still super successful. $35 million budget, made $700 million worldwide. That's insane.
Okay,
that's a hell of a hit. That's a lot. And even the sequel, $79 million budget, still made $473 million worldwide. Still a massive hit for a horror movie.
Still.
Massive hits. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
let that be proof to other studios out there. You don't need to spend in the triple
this
$1
movie
million.
Looks amazing, and it's a $35 million budget. It's shot phenomenally. Yeah. So, take notes, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You'll make a lot more money that way. But just like the whole like what Malcolm just to say what Malcolm said. It's like you could technically say the same thing about Dune, but it's literally called Dune on IMDb and on Letterboxd and all that stuff. It's just called Dune, but now people are calling it Dune Part 1 because it's like it's not actually titled that. So it's like the same thing with
Indiana
like
Jones.
so
It's like when people go back and go, it's called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No, it's called Raiders. Yeah.
Get out of here.
But it. I remember like this was a cultural phenomenon when it was released in theaters. I saw it with some friends of mine back when it came out in 2017. It was just a big cultural hit. I remember it being like terrifying, all of us being kind of, although what's funny is I was scared the first time I watched it, and I rewatched it with some other friends, and then they were like laughing through it. Like they enjoyed the film, but they thought it was actually really funny, not scary. So like it kind of ruined the experience for me the second time. But just because of how much they were laughing at it. But it was but to me I still would give it like a high B for me personally, because I think it's like an 8 out of 10, which appeals, which to me is like a
I
B.
think that's
So
an A. Anyway.
yeah.
That's an A.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would say 8.5 or higher is A for me.
I think it was very technical.
Sure.
What?
Yeah.
That was very
But-
splitting hairs here.
Just vote.
But Dan, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I love it. I think, you guys have said it all about this film. I mean, there's not a whole lot I could say about this film. I think I gave it 4.5 stars when it came out that year. And it's obviously WB is continuing to go to bed with Andy Muschietti and his sister Barber Muschietti. You know, it's a threesome with WB and the Muschiettis. You know, they want these people involved, and they lost Christopher Nolan, but they kind of found a guy with Andy Muschietti and our Dune buddy over here, Danny Villeneuve and a couple other people. You know, when they find their directors, they like to stay in business with them for years, especially ones that make them money. So, and I loved Andy Muschietti's last film he did. You know, what was it called? Flash. The Flash. I love The Flash. I know a lot of people. It's divisive with a lot of people. I think he did a great job with The Flash.
I love that movie.
This is a B, upper B for me. So I'm just B plus, A minus kind of thing. So I'm just going to go with a B for me.
Yeah. Well, Chris, what do you say about it?
Absolutely an S tier movie. I remember seeing this movie in theaters and it blew me away. Perfect film. Like you said, like it feels like a Stand By Me or something like that. Like I'd be happy watching this movie just about this group of kids. The music is phenomenal. The acting is incredible. The cinematography is beautiful. It's just does such a good job of getting closer to the book, I feel like, than the first one. So for that reason, definitely an S tier.
All right.
Yeah.
So 4 S's, 2 B's. It'll stay and skirt into S tier for now as well.
Yay.
Yeah. So we got another one. We got another one.
We got another one. So you got a
All
few
right.
in there, but
Well,
Austin, you're up.
yeah, hopefully I can get one as well. Maybe horror movies are just garnered towards one-word titles, but I'll give another one a shot. Let's go with another one that should have had an Oscar nomination for the lead actor. Let's go Split.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Split, one of my favorite movies of that year, and maybe kind of an underdog in this one, but I think a sneaky great movie. I think most people could agree it's probably Shyamalan's best movie of the 2010s, just because he got back to basics, a very simple movie. Very, very, very simple, just sort of almost like a one location movie, just mostly taking place kind of in that underground area, a little bit in the therapy offices, but yeah, very simple, but and an incredible James McAvoy performance. I mean, this is like career making stuff, like getting seamlessly going from personality to personality. I think it's beautifully shot, great supporting stuff from Anya Taylor-Joy. But a really, really good thriller and one of my favorite movies of that year. So I'll shoot my shot for Split. Let's see what happens on that. But I'm going to go Split for S tier. I think this movie's fantastic.
Yeah. So after doing my personal rankings of all these movies, Split is in my top 10. Yeah, Split is phenomenal. I freaking love Split. I think that it's probably the maybe the best James McAvoy performance of his whole career, and he's had some incredible performances. And yeah, just him playing. I don't know how many personalities he had, like 20 or something
24
like that.
technically. In this movie, we only
23.
see about 6 of them or so, but
I
we see
thought
a
it was
few more in
23.
Glass or something like that.
Yeah.
23, 24. Yeah, I we see a few more briefly in Glass, but yeah, and some on the computer and stuff.
But yeah, just like having Anya Taylor-Joy, that's when I was like really introduced to her in this movie, and just seeing like their interaction and like you see James McAvoy as like a little kid, you see him as like an old lady, and you see him as like different. I don't know, just like it runs a whole gamut of different characters. You see him as some really creepy kind of like almost pedophile-esque kind of characters, and then by the end you see him as the Beast, and it gets really freaky when he becomes that, and yeah, like it's probably like in one of my top M. Night Shyamalan movies. I haven't ranked M. Night Shyamalan, but like it's up there, and then the fact that spoilers, but I mean if you haven't seen it yet, that it connects to Breakable. So
Well, I mean, at this point, they made a whole movie about that. So if
Yeah,
you're not aware of
it
that,
connects on
I think-
Breakable.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
we know that. At this
yeah,
point.
that is true. They made a whole movie. So yeah. Like I'm always worried about like who's gonna get pissed off about spoilers, but they made a whole
movie.
so,
At that point,
yeah.
if you didn't know that,
Yeah,
that's on you.
yeah,
So,
right. Yeah, so like
It's literally on this list.
well, yeah,
but
like,
I mean, not on this list, but but
Yeah,
glasses.
yeah.
So,
but yeah, just doing that, like, and it just works because every time that you see James McAvoy, you're like, what kind of personality is he gonna have next? And like, is he ever gonna have his own just unique original personality? Which I think Kevin might be his like, maybe him being close to himself. I don't know though, but yeah, so it'll be an S tier for Split for me. Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, I think it was just if they would have released this film like later in the year, I think it would have gotten James McAvoy in because on like when I looked at the nominees, I was like, how did you nominate a forgettable for performance like Denzel Washington and Roman J. Israel Esquire over?
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something? Go ahead, Wolfman. Because of James Franco. James Franco got canceled, and he was going to be the nominee. I put money on it, and then they were like, "Oh shoot, who are we going to nominate? We can't nominate James Franco." And that's why Denzel got in there.
You nominate another James McAvoy.
Yeah, that's why you nominate James McAvoy. So, me personally, that's my personal like pick for the nominee.
I agree. I don't disagree with you, Wolfman.
Oh yeah, because I think that he. Because I think he was absolutely fantastic in this film. And it was, Split to me was an incredible movie. One of M. Night Shyamalan's best. I'll say like granted, it's like very high A, but I'll say like it's a high A for me. Like very high. I could get convincing.
It's like S minus.
Yeah,
right.
Like an S minus kind of deal. It's like something like that. It's like I could get convinced to put into S, but I love it. I really love this film a lot. And
it's really easy. All you have to do is say S.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Split S.
Just warm your lips to an S.
All right. I'll tell you what. I remember this press screening like it was yesterday because it was like early January of whatever year that it came out, and it was like we had already gotten all the Oscar contending movies. We're like, oh, okay, we got an M. Night Shyamalan movie come out in January. Like, how the heck? And it's Blumhouse, and you're like, okay, what's this going to be? And it turned out to be an absolute phenomenal performance from James McAvoy. We ended up getting Anya Taylor-Joy for the first time, which she becomes one of our darlings that we love. We love to see her pop up in things. It's just when you're watching it and you're putting the pieces together in your head while you're watching it, and you're like, oh my God, this is the beast from Unbreakable. And then you hear the music and you hear Bruce Willis sitting at that bar at the end, and it's like, oh my God, this is connected to Unbreakable. And you're like, your mind is, and and this put Shyamalan back on track. It put him back to where, because he was doing garbage for years. And Blumhouse gave him a chance, $10 million or whatever it was for this. Then his next movie got a little bit more budget. And then one after that got a little bit more budget. And he started getting back on track. You know what I mean? And that's what Blumhouse does. He gives directors chances, even people like the next Alfred Hitchcock. If you ever remember that Newsweek, where he was the next
Spielberg. They're saying that.
The next Spielberg on Time Magazine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is a great comeback story for M. Night Shyamalan. I would say this is an A for me though.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I know you're very hit and miss on M. Night Shyamalan, so I'm curious, what do you think?
So Old brought me back to M. Night. Village ruined me for M. Night. After that, I didn't give a shit about anything he made. I didn't care. Unbreakable was just
Village is underrated.
all right.
No, it's not.
It was just all right for me. I wasn't
think
blown
it's
away
amazing.
by it.
Rewatched it
So
again
therefore-
recently. No, it's not. It doesn't. That movie does not work. Yeah.
But yet you love. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the movie. So for me, Split is just a C. I don't get the hype for it. I know everyone on the panel loves it. I just don't get it. But blew me away. Like,
Man,
and I know that's a hot take because I know a lot of people hate that movie with a passion. So,
Well, Chris, would you say that you're split on your thoughts on Split with a C?
no, it's definitely. You know what? It is lower than that actually because
No.
I don't know.
No. You see,
no.
Richie,
Let's
what do you
give it a D.
Yeah, anyway, see,
Oh,
anyway,
come
cool.
Let's go the other way. Here.
So yeah, like I mean, I'm opposite. Like yeah, like I think for the most part, since like I think The Visit, he's been pretty good. Splits is a better one. Yeah, and Old is the one where I was like, oh man, don't go back to that trajectory because Old is fucking weird and stupid. And it's
Yeah.
I didn't think so at all.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
I love the story. Like I
The-
love that
the themes are very powerful.
yeah, I'm not going to that debate. I'm filming Split.
Okay. All right.
We're not. We're not.
But yeah, Split it blew me away. It's a powerhouse performance. It's amazing. I love Split so much. I think it's James McAvoy is just a revelation. And like me, I think later years have shown that it doesn't matter when a movie falls on the schedule, it can still be considered for Oscar contention. I mean, obviously Everything Everywhere All at Once came out in February, so and Get Out came out in February, so you could, and this came out in January. It still, I think it still could have had that staying power. But yeah, and Split's just about, and then there's even a scene I think Austin's mentioned before where he's on like a therapist couch. He's doing an impression of one of his. He's one of his characters doing an impression of one of his other personalities. That's mental. That is talent right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
he's like Dennis playing the other character like while on the couch, and that's insane level acting. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, he's phenomenal now. So yeah, at S tier for sure.
All right.
And guys, just because Richie's from another country doesn't mean we can pick on him and keep interrupting him every time, right?
Yeah.
But what are the votes at? Austin?
Wolf, you can go S- and negate what Chris said. You do know that, right?
And Chris, you can go with a C. You can rethink that.
I'm still gonna stick with A here though, because there's other movies that I like more than Split on here. But I love.
All right, so it's weird because it's 3 S's, 2 A's, and a D. But I feel like we're stretching on this episode. 3 S's kind of keeps it in contention, but it could get knocked if there's other things.
Yeah, like it'll be at the.
It'll be on the border. It'll be on the border. It's on the border. It's going to be the first one to get knocked if it gets banged out of there. So we'll see what happens. All right. So Jordan, what do you got?
So I got to do it before we run out of time. I don't know how many picks we're going to get. So
yeah,
I got to throw Logan in there because it's my favorite movie of all time. And I got to be objective because I know Logan is on here all the time, but this is tier ranker and like just like think about how amazing this movie is, how it's a modern Western, how amazing all the performances are. Hugh Jackman, Daphne Keane, Patrick Stewart. I mean, I'm still waiting for the X-23. I mean, movie Daphne Keane's getting a little older, so
we're not going to get that
happen.
But
well, I never say never because I mean Hugh Jackman's at least coming back for Deadpool at least. So
that's a different weird universe.
But
thing. Yeah, I don't know.
People said never about that. So
I think it's Deadpool blows up the Fox Marvel universe. I believe I think that's what it is. And then the ones that they like, the ones that Kevin Feige actually likes, he's going to bring them into the MCU. Mark it down.
Which X-23 I hope is one. We'll see. I don't know, but anyways, and then you have Logan being essentially like a parent to Daphne Keane's character, whether he wants to or not. By the end, they kind of have this really sweet relationship, and he helps fight to the bitter end, and it's just really, really good. And it's also hard R, the way that that a freaking Wolverine in a movie should be, with all the blood and the violence and everything that you want from when you see the Wolverine character going to berserker mode and all that stuff. I mean, like near berserker mode, I guess you could say. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know me, S tier for Logan. It's my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, but Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, Logan is an absolute masterpiece. When I watched this in theaters, I was just Wolverine is my favorite comic book character of all time. So, and I read the comics for this, of the Old Man Logan comics. So I was just in it, and this movie blew me away. I'm excited for him to return to Deadpool 3, but this to me was like a great end for Hugh Jackman. Like, I think like this was just the perfect end, making a Western. It was like, I almost don't even want to call this a comic book movie because it doesn't feel like one. Like the noir, especially when you watch the noir cut, like it's just really like doesn't. It's just like it just feels so gritty and just and I cry every time I watch.
Even though they straight up read an X-Men comic in the movie, it still doesn't feel like a comic book movie.
Yeah, I know, right? But this to me is like top 3 best comic book movies, and I feel like this made a huge impact being nominated for best adapted screenplay, because that's a massive category. And when it was nominated for best adapted screenplay, that was like huge for the comic book genre. And so and I still would have nominated Patrick Stewart instead of Christopher Plummer for that one movie he was in. Patrick Stewart was phenomenal in this. And just everyone in this is phenomenal. But like, yeah, this is one like best comic book movies ever made, if there and maybe the best like superhero movie ever made. Like, this film is just fantastic. And so yeah, Logan, absolutely. And that's good.
Dan, what do you say about Logan?
Yeah, I actually got into a press screening of this before I was actually pressed. I was a +1 on a somebody who's pressed, and I got lucky. I got to see this like a month early, and I was absolutely. See, I'm a massive Western fan. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet or not, but I love Westerns. Mm-hmm. And this is what's called a neo-Western, a modern-day Western, or a futuristic Western, not set in the old days of the 1800s or whatever. And it really has a lot of that feeling of Westerns. And I read Old Man Logan, the comic book. Yeah, is it different because Fox didn't have the rights to Hawkeye or the Incredible Hulk, so they couldn't put those characters in there. But they really made the most of what they had, and really James Mangold, who hadn't done anything like this before, really did a great job with this film. A guy that you might have, I don't know if you guys watched the show Barry, Anthony Kerrigan is in here, and he is fantastic in this. Yeah. And then you see him later in Barry, like, wow, this guy really is a great actor.
Who did Anthony Kerrigan play?
He was the creature, the witch with Professor X, Picard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Anthony Kerrigan.
Okay.
I think it's him, or is it a comedian?
Stephen Merchant?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stephen Merchant. Yeah, Stephen Merchant. Yeah. Yeah.
I know Stephen Merchant played this character in something, but
Stephen Merchant was Caliban. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah,
Kerrigan, but it's not like an albino looking guy like him. Yeah.
Caliban in something. He played Caliban in something. I remember it. I just can't remember. So it was the Stephen Merchant, right? My bad. It's my bad if I said the wrong thing. But he has played Caliban in something. What's his face? Sorry to get off track, but I do love this movie. But if you talk about S tier, you talk about the greatest comic book movies of all time. You're talking some of the greatest films of all time. I don't think Logan is one of the greatest films of all time. I don't think it's one of the greatest. I think it's in the top maybe 20, 25 comic book films of all 25. Time. So, yeah, I'd say probably an A for me.
I'd be hard pressed to name 20 more or 20 better comic book movies than this, but Chris, what do you say?
This movie is absolutely an S tier. A mind-blowing movie from beginning to end. I had no idea that Steve Merchant played in that, which is freaking cool. But such an incredible movie. Absolutely an S tier movie. You guys said everything I could say about this movie.
Yeah, so Stephen Merchant plays the the like albino guy that like gets burned when he goes in the sun. That guy.
Yeah, Caliban.
Yeah.
But I know
but
Anthony Kerrigan plays a version of Caliban in something. I just can't.
Anthony Kerrigan. The only other comic book thing I see is he was on Gotham. He played Victor Zsasz.
Maybe that's what it was.
He played
maybe that's
on,
getting it confused.
He played the Mist on the Flash TV show. Yeah, I can't find a Caliban thing on his IMDb. So,
I don't mind. I just got Zaz. Maybe I'm getting confused with him as Zaz.
Yeah.
You could be right.
Yeah, but
anyways.
But Richie, what do you say?
Yeah, and to be clear, we're not like voting on like what based on like what's the best of all time. It's just the best of this period of time.
Yeah,
so, like, you know,
I understand. It's just I don't think this is going to be
one
of the best. So
but yeah, no, it's all good.
I'm the one that votes it best of all time. So.
But this is great. And it's a great like sort of neo noir western, and I do like, and I watched the black and white version as well, and it's fantastic. Still one of my favorite comic book movies I've ever watched. So I'll go S for sure.
Yeah, I'm Austin.
I'll go S with the caveat that I would vote something like Joker over it just later.
No.
Just let you know.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Because I don't rewatch Logan a lot. I don't find it super rewatchable. I think it's good, but
I don't rewatch it a lot only because it's so depressing.
That's what I mean. Like I can't just put it on. Like I'd put on Joker more than
I rewatch both of them all the time. So
but I'll still go S. So all right. So here's where we're at. We're at the hour 40. We're not quite at the 2 hour mark. We can go around one more time, but it has to be succinct and quick. Dan, Wolf. Got to be quick. We got to go. Got to go. Yeah. Thoughts on each movie have to be 20, 30 seconds a pop. So keep it quick.
So you need 5 more movies in that S2.
Yeah. So we can get, everybody can get another regular pick before we get to the Hail Mary round. Then I'll explain when we get there. But if we go quickly, we can circle around very fast. So Wolf, quickly, what else do you want to nominate?
All right. One thing I want to nominate was one I actually was able to get on this list from wherever we were talking in the group chat. And that is maybe the best movie of 2018, and that is Blind Spotting in that S tier. This film to me is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It just
Blind Spotting. Holy
shit. It blew me away. This film to me, the fact that how they handle the whole racial divide was excellent. The chemistry between the two friends is just superb. Performances are great. There's everything in this. The ending is one of the best endings I've ever seen to a movie. Like it blew me away. Like what they were able to pull off with the rap here, and it was like because that shouldn't work, but it worked so well, and it was like this movie. I just love it. The more I see it, it's an absolute masterpiece. Blind Spotting, S tier all the way.
Right.
No, I love Blind Spotting. Wolfman, I think I was ahead of the curve when I saw this because I think a lot of people didn't even know what this was. It was one of those things that it kind of little by little it caught on with people. But I saw this so early on, and I was like, "Am I one of these? Like, am I looking at what I'm picking up? This is a phenomenal film with some actors that a lot of people didn't know, you know. So yeah, I like it. I would say a B plus, early A, you know. So.
Which one?
A minus, B plus, something like that. B plus.
I need just for voting sake, I need one or the other just for the averages. So A or B if you had to.
B plus, yeah. B plus.
B plus. Okay, gotcha. All right, sounds good. Chris.
Yeah.
He's got his mouth full.
Okay, so I still
worries.
somehow have never seen this movie. So,
bro, I think you would actually really like it.
Yeah, you would love it, I think. So,
Richie,
seen
Blind Spotting?
I haven't seen it. Moving on.
Austin.
Seen it once, didn't knock my socks off like everybody else. I think it's really good, but for whatever reason, it didn't connect to me that much. I'm in the B tier for Blind Spot. I think it's a good movie, but I didn't see the masterpiece that everybody else thought it was. So I'll give it a rewatch at some point. Try again, but B tier for now.
Well, I saw the masterpiece that it was, and this movie is absolutely a masterpiece. I remember when I watched it, I remember just thinking, man, I'm pretty sure that I'm watching one of the greatest movies ever made. That's going to be in my top 20 of all time, and it was soon after, and this movie is just so powerful because they have. I mentioned it before, but they have the like racist stuff between the like blacks and the cops and that kind of thing, but they do it in like a subtle way without beating you over the head with it. So they just like just are able to do it so seamlessly that it just works really, really well. And this movie has humor, it has heart in it. You see like the journey of their friendship, and but then it also a lot bigger than that, and it goes towards race and towards family and friends and like other friends that they have and like that kind of thing. And then like I would agree, like the ending of this movie when he does the rap at the end and you see the police officer and like the gun there and like, oh, it's just like so powerful. It just blew me away. So Blind Spotting is an all-timer. It's my number 2 on this list, right under Logan. So it's an easy S tier for me. So it's one we can agree on, Wolf. Yay.
All right.
Well,
Dan.
maybe it's too early, but I think you're going to be looking at an Academy Award-winning Best Picture nominee this year, especially if movies start moving into next year to try to get some content for next year. You definitely got a top 10 of Academy Award pick here. And when you're talking about one of the best underrated directors who should have won Best Academy Award for director for a movie that he directed that won the Academy Award, and that is Air. And how he did not win. He didn't even get nominated for Best Director for Argo, which is ridiculous. And I think Matt Damon gives an Oscar-worthy performance. Also, the lawyer, God, he's in about 5 movies this year. You're going to he's in so many movies. The guy that plays Chris Messina, fantastic as the lawyer. Obviously, we know Viola Davis won an Academy Award, but we've seen this type of role from her before with Doubt, where she was nominated for an Academy Award. This is a Best Picture contender this year. For me, it's an S tier all day long, every day. I lived through this. This is a moment in time that I lived through. Maybe you guys didn't live through this. Maybe it's not as resonant with you, but I did, and it was a moment that I'll never forget, that Michael Jordan signed with Nike and not Converse, because Larry Bird and Magic were with Converse at the time, and they were the big guys. But yeah, this is number 3 on my top 10 of the year right now, because a film just bumped it to number 3. It was number 2.
Yeah. Well, Chris, what do you say about Air?
So I have since thought about this movie, and I really do think it's an S tier movie. Although I do think the Academy Award goes to Ben Affleck. I think he delivers one of the most phenomenal performances. Night. Holy shit.
He ain't going to get nominated. Matt Damon's the one. Chris Messina, Viola Davis. They're the ones to look for.
Yeah. But
Ben Affleck didn't do quite enough in the movie.
Really amazing story. But there's another one that I'd put in the S tier that I'm going to bring up here.
Okay. But what about this one?
S. Let's do S.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Is it S?
Richie?
I'm in 2 minds because I feel like it is too early. But like, I'm looking at other things on the list. I'm like, I'm like, it's probably. And then I think we'll probably get a consensus here. So I'll say yes. So yeah, like not like enthusiastically, but it probably in time probably be more enthusiastic. But I'll say yes. Yes.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah. Well, Dan, I was a toddler when I think he got his deal, but that doesn't mean it isn't my number 2 movie of the year so far. So it's an S tier for Air. Because I love this movie. I love this new subgenre of based on a true story, true business venture kind of movies. It's like one of my favorite new subgenres of movies. I've loved all the ones that have come out this year. Looking forward to Dumb Money and the Beanie Bubble as well. Air gets an S tier because it's my number 2 of the year so far. I loved it. So, yeah.
So surprisingly, I'm probably the biggest basketball fan on this panel. I grew up just like watching Michael Jordan play. I watched like the 90s it's probably my favorite era for basketball, but yeah, like Austin, I was a toddler when this deal happened, but like despite that, like it's just the sheer amount of movies on the list that's just hard for me to give it like a straight up S tier. I think it's really, really good, and like part of me like the movie's good, but like I don't know if there's going to be any nomination from this movie. Maybe I think that there could be, but like I don't think anything's locked because it's like for me, I don't really like when anyone really says that like this person is a lock for an Oscar because you don't know, you haven't seen half the rest of the year of movies. So, but
You're right.
but it'll certainly be a contender though I think so. So yeah, but so for me, I got to give it a slight A just because. If you know me too, like it's just a little too much of like people in rooms talking to me. Like when you get to like that, like
Jordan
that's
doesn't
just
like
kinda,
people in rooms.
But you realize like a lot of most movies are people in the rooms talking.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like,
do you like
having
Moneyball? Because that's a lot.
I like
that's
Moneyball a lot, but the thing
that's-
is like for whatever reason, Moneyball just kind of like
That's just people
like
talking.
like
Hey,
I don't know.
Hey, Jordan, you know what 12 Angry Men is? It's 12 dudes in a room talking for the whole
Yeah.
movie. It's one of the
Greatest
greatest
movie
movies of all
works.
time.
Greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
An all timer. We'll see where Moneyball ranks. It'll be in our next episode, but yeah. I mean, like I don't mind it. I'm not saying that I hate it, but when it's like for a whole movie nonstop, it's just hard for me. But I do like 12 Angry Men. That's like a weird outlier for me. So like it just depends. Like it is good. I mean, but it's just hard. Like it's like high A. Like it's at the very top of A for me. I just can't quite get it into the S tier for me. So yeah, that's where it's at. But
Man, come on, man.
So yeah,
Yeah.
first off, not a single actor from this movie is a lock too. They might get nominated, but they're not a locked win in the slightest.
No, I never said they were.
Or
I never
absolutely,
said they were.
because because I know that like I have a friend who's seen Killers of the Flower Moon early, and he says that pretty much Leonardo DiCaprio, it's his to lose, or like Leonardo DiCaprio is winning. There's no one like touching.
Have you
it.
seen Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah.
I haven't, but I have had a friend personally who I trust who's seen it.
Went to
already.
France and saw it at the Cannes Film Festival.
He did, yeah. And
October
and-
cannot come fast enough for me.
oh yeah.
Seriously.
But my favorite performance in this movie was actually Jason Bateman. I thought he
good.
was like
He's good.
fantastic in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's good.
he's really good too. Yeah,
But yeah, but
Viola
everyone does a
Davis.
great job in this film.
I'll say that.
Or Viola Davis, she was also fantastic in this. But yeah, no, everyone here does a good job. It's a well done movie. It's just it's too soon, and then two, I feel like this is number 24 on my 2023 list of like where I'd rank it as far as films go. Like it was good, I enjoyed it, but it's like it just feels kind of like a generic kind of sports drama.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I was at.
It's a moment in history that
Doesn't
changed
feel-
sports.
Yes,
Yeah.
but there's-
Changed
but
the
yes,
concept of
but
sports.
it's an
Changed
Also, Michael
yes.
Jordan.
That's the true story. That's the true story.
I feel like I don't know. This whole episode's wild. I feel like you guys are changing your opinions all of a sudden.
No,
Yeah,
I've
no,
always had this opinion. I've always had this
I
opinion.
know.
Same here. I've always been.
I've always had this opinion on it. When the first moment I watched it, like it was like it's. I love the true story. It's a good moment in history. But when you're talking like God, like the best of the best, the
Only
filmmaking
from
just isn't
2016 till now.
like the
Only from
2016
2016
now. We're not
7
talking about all
years.
the time.
We're not talking about best.
No, but of
7 years.
every
Talking
one
about
of
this
battle.
but of every one of these films,
Talking about
the
these
best
fucking
of
movies.
2016 through 2023, like the best of all those years when there are better made
All the
movies,
one-word
filmmaking, like act, like just like when like there are like absolute just like I don't know. This one just feels plain to me, so that's why I'm gonna give this one like kind of a mid-range B for me.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?
Oh my god.
And Brian says, "Give Chris Tucker an Oscar." Nah, he's not going to get an Oscar. I don't.
He was
think
good
so.
in it though.
Uh-huh.
Good
Yeah, he was-
Brian.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be. So what are the votes at?
Okay, so it's still got 4 S's, A and a B, so it's gonna hang in there. In fact, it'll.
Well, and an A. I said A.
I know.
Yeah,
4
he
S's,
said,
A and
Jordan
B.
said
That's
A.
what I just said. 4 S's and A.
Oh,
and a
you
B.
said 4 S's and a B. I didn't hear the A part. Maybe
4
my-
S's and A and
my-
a B. So it'll still be
I
up
think
there.
cut out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, Chris, we got to go quick. Chris, what else you got?
That's what I'm hoping for. So let's go down there.
Okay, what you got?
So I'm gonna go with Prey. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with Sisu because I don't even argue this movie. This movie is flipping fantastic. It's brutal. It's absolutely awesome. The music is fantastic. It is absolutely an S tier movie. Incredible movie. Blew me away.
All right.
Look at the posters. Look at the two posters.
Easy.
I know,
very similar.
Yeah.
Look at that poster.
Very similar. Yeah. Wow.
Split and season.
Yeah, easy S.
Richie.
I was hoping you'd go with Prey because I haven't seen Sisu yet. It only just came out here and it's limited, so I have to go on my way to see it. So we'll see it eventually, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
I have seen Sisu. Yeah, it was one of the Regal mystery movies. And I think for the purpose of this list, I've got other stuff I would put on there, but it's still probably going to be an honorable mention of my favorites of the year so far. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Air. So I'll go A+.
Yeah, and I actually haven't seen it yet, so it's still a blind spot for me, so I can't comment. But Wolf, what do you say?
I have seen it. Honestly, I thought it was just okay. I'm gonna give it C tier.
C, all right.
What the fuck?
Dan.
I got a screener before it actually popped up on that mystery movie that you saw, Austin, and I saw it weeks and weeks ahead of most people. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Because I was begging my publicist for this. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. But it's still like, it's not on Air's level. It's not on a lot of films that came out this year's level. So I definitely would say probably a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better.
Kind of around here for now.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go to Richie.
Richie, what do you want to go for?
All right.
We know you're picking Midsommar, Richie. Come on.
No, man, actually.
I'm
Or
with
Pig.
you if
You know you want Pig. Come on, pick Pig.
No, actually, I mean,
Tell them what the
Actress. Yeah, that was a good one.
No, actually, I'll go the other route because I like it better. I'm gonna go Hereditary.
Is Hereditary on here? Oh my God, they're on.
Hereditary, I like it slightly better than Midsommar. I think it's fantastic. I think Toni Collette does a powerhouse performance. Everybody is amazing. Nat Wolff is even good, and Dowd, who weirdly pops up in all of these possession movies. She's going to be in the Exorcist movie that's coming out. It's really good. STF, sure.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, no, you know what makes good one-word movies? One-word horror movies that are great. I'll also go S tier for Hereditary. Yeah, I've watched it about 3 times, but yeah, I get something new out of it every time. I always see something in the background. Toni Collette kind of hovering around somewhere. Very shocking movie, but yeah, incredible performances. And I like 2 of Ari Aster's movies.
Yeah.
Same here. I like all 3.
Actually, I like 3 of them. Yeah. Same. So.
Well,
I'll
say I like pieces of Beau is Afraid, but it's not a movie. But anyways,
But I was going to say that I really like Hereditary. I think that it's phenomenal. I think that it's like one that I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and man, this movie really blew me away. And I think Toni Collette should have been nominated for an Oscar. She kind of got robbed, in my opinion. But Alex Wolff's really, really good. And then even the daughter, it's like Millie Shapiro, she was good. And of course, there's the scene that I'm not going to say what it is, but there was a shocking scene it's halfway through, because of course there's always going to be a shocking one at the end, but like halfway through it too, that really disturbed me. I was like,
that was even more shocking to me than the ending.
Right. Same here too. Yeah. So, and I think that that's great. Like it's one of my favorite horror movies of the year. I don't know if I can say it's my or one of my favorite horror movies of this list. I don't know if I can say that it's my favorite, but even so, you said it right, Austin. There's a lot of good one-word horror movies, so let's put Hereditary in the S tier.
Right.
Yeah. So, but Wolf.
Yeah, this to me might have the best performance I've ever seen in a horror movie with Toni Collette. Like, I might go that far with it. Like, the fact that she was not like, she should have won the Oscar, but the fact that she wasn't even like nominated to me is just that's unforgivable. That's unforgivable. I'm never going to forgive them for that ever. That's just something that I can never forgive them for, because that film is just, it's too good. I like Midsommar as far as like film goes a hair more, but I still really like this film a lot. It's really great. It's just, and I mean just barely out of my top 10 when I'm looking at my list here. So like just barely. So because of that, it's like an A+ for me, I guess, because it's not like, if I'm going with like the 10, that would be an S tier, I guess. I would, but it would be like an A+ for me. So.
Yeah, I saw this. Well, This is one of the first press screenings I ever attended, and I'll tell you, I had my friend, and she's one of those people that you take these people to horror movies because their reactions are just priceless. This woman literally was shaking when she walked out of the theater. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe what I just watched. We were watching it like 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning. That's when I used to do my press screenings back in the day, and I was just blown away, absolutely blown away by this movie. I said, this guy's a filmmaker to watch. He's in that group of people that now, when we see a new Ari Aster movie, whether it's good or bad, we put him on appointment because we want to see what he's doing next. And Hereditary was that movie at the beginning of his career where you're like, oh my God, this guy's for real. I would actually agree with this one this time. I will agree. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that this was one of the movies they famously took Josh McCouga to, and they recorded it where he's screaming like a little girl the whole way through, or whatever, and like annoying people next to him.
I'll say it. You're a pussy.
Yeah. But Chris, what do you think of?
I was very late to Midsommar, but after your recommendation, Jordan, I did watch it, and I freaking loved it. Actually, I did not expect.
We're talking about
Hereditary. You're talking about Hereditary.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, fair enough. Okay, but 4 and 1.
We'll probably get to Midsommar, I imagine, but
we might get Midsommar. Yeah, it'll probably get at least shouted on the Hail Marys.
Yeah.
So for my final pick, I just want to champion a movie that I really love, and for my money, I think it's the best disaster movie of the last 10 years. I'm gonna go with Greenland. And a super underrated movie. So I gotta find it on here. Where the hell is it? Yeah, I know it's on here. So still,
I see plane.
You see plane.
No, not plane. No, a better Gerard Butler movie. A much better Gerard Butler movie.
Much better, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here, but I just want to champion it and shout it out, even if it doesn't make the S tier, that's fine. But yeah, I think this movie, I like rented it like long after it came out. I missed it in theaters because it came out in that 2020 period, so it didn't get a lot of traction at the time. But the reason why it's a great disaster movie is that the disaster is kind of in the background. It's always kind of ever present. There's scenes of them, running from things and some minor asteroids hitting, and there's another bigger one coming, obviously. But the fact that it really focuses on this family story and them kind of getting separated, having to come back together. But you really get to know these characters. Gerard Butler, for my money, one of his best movies ever. He's really good. Miranda Baccarat from Deadpool is excellent, and even the kid, Roger Dale Floyd is really good. And I think he even played. He was in Dr. Sleep. He actually played the Danny version of the Shining stuff. Recreated.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's really good. Scott Glenn shows up. He's great. But yeah, this is another great example of a movie that doesn't need a gigantic budget to be good. It had like a $30 million budget, but it looks great. All the great performances. So I just think this is one of the great underrated movies of the last 10 years or so, and I've gone back to it a lot, and I really love it. So we'll see what happens here. If it doesn't make it, I get it, but I just want to champion Greenland. So.
Yeah. If Greenland actually made money in theaters,
it didn't really come out in theaters that much.
I mean, it made its money because it's getting a sequel. Greenland's getting a sequel right now. So,
really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
There's no Plane's getting a sequel. called like Boat or
Well, the
something.
with the sequel though, I'd be really curious as to where they go because if you see how that movie ends, they like I'd be curious to like what they're gonna do with that. But yeah, I'd be kind of interested. But yeah, so I just watched Greenland for the first time, so I only had time to watch a couple, but I watched Greenland, and yeah, this movie was really really good. Yeah, I really like how they focus on like the family relationship. There's like something that like happens to their son halfway through that's like really unnerving too. You're like holy shit, like and without spoiling it, but
it involves what's the name, Roy from The Office, I think.
Yeah, from The Office. Yeah. Just kind of cool with the little like side character, but yeah, and Scott Glenn's really good too in it, and yeah, like I just like their whole journey where they don't like 100% focus on like all the damage the whole entire time. They show some, but just more about the these characters and their relationship, and it really works. This is probably one of the best disaster movies I've seen in a long time, and they went with like a smaller budget as opposed to most disaster movies have a huge budget. So I mean, I probably can't go quite S tier, but it's definitely an A tier for me. I'll give it a solid A. So, Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah. So it's called Greenland Migration is the sequel coming out.
Wow.
And it sounds pretty interesting. Yeah,
movie.
This is probably the best disaster movie I've seen in like quite some time. Like this proves you can do with the actual dramatic stuff and disaster stuff and blend it well. A lot of disaster movies don't blend it well. Yeah, this is very, very good. However, it's like a B+ for me, like a high B+. So that's where I'll give it.
Yeah. Well, Dan.
Yeah.
You said,
Austin, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but this is probably one of the most contrived movies I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Like everything that happens has to happen so the next thing can happen. Then the next thing can happen. So all these things have to happen. All these dominoes have to fall. So the next thing and the next thing and the next. That's contrivance after contrivance after contrivance.
That's
so
how
that
most
to
movies
me
work.
doesn't make a very good movie. That's not a good plot. That's okay. What do we have to do to get these characters from or Gerard Butler from point A to point Z in this? Let's have them do this. Let's have this person get this and have that person. This movie is not a good movie. I actually liked what was the one where The Rock is like saving California from falling off?
Don't tell me
San Andreas. That one's.
Yeah.
You want
San Andreas?
San Andreas. I actually like that one better. I actually like that one.
You want to talk about contrive? Holy shit! Does he get out of every situation in that movie?
California Dreaming. That soun's like forever stuck in my head from working at a theater during that movie.
Sorry. Gerard Butler is turned into Liam Neeson of like those type of movies where everything it's the same movie. Gerard Butler's doing the same thing with Kandahar and Plane and Greenland, and it's just the same type of thing as Liam Neeson. I'm sorry, this is a C.
Yeah, well, Chris, I don't know if you're still there. Talk about Greenland.
Yes, I am actually. And
yeah, what do you think?
I thought I'd seen Greenland, but I was looking. I was like, somehow I hadn't seen it, so I need to watch that right away. But I'm with you,
really
Dan.
like
I actually love
it's
San
definitely
Andreas.
a Chris movie.
I'm one of the weirdos that actually enjoys that film.
Okay, San Andreas. Yeah. I mean, it's passable, but it's not better
I
than
like it a
Greenland.
lot, but I disagree as far as him being just a rudimentary, just run-of-the-mill actor. Look at Unhinged. The movie's freaking incredible. It's a hard movie to watch, but holy shit, is the movie amazing.
Yeah, The Rock being right next to a boat when a tsunami hits and is able to drive right over. That's not contrived at all, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens to be in just the perfect spot with a perfect boat right next to him, but that's fine.
Who are you talking
His
about?
wife is in the perfect spot so we can save her, like exactly. Like
right, and he happened to be in his helicopter when the earthquake hits, and can go fly over and rescue his daughter. For sure, no contrivances at all. San Andreas.
Who are you talking about not being a generic actor and being Unhinged?
Liam Neeson.
Chris.
I said Gerard Butler's incredible in Unhinged.
I don't think he's in there.
He started to say
that's
that
Russell
he's
Crowe.
just
That's
Russell Crowe.
I mean, God, what the hell am I thinking? God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway.
So like Russell Crowe's great, yeah.
It could have been a Gerard Butler movie. It feels like one.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
No worries,
but
Yeah,
I like him at 300.
I had my vote. I don't have another vote. Sorry. Sorry. I actually did recently get to see this, and it's really, really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's probably too fresh in my mind to give it an S tier, but I understand why you would. But I'd give it a solid A.
Yeah. So where does it lie? Like A?
kind of around Nope area or Sisu, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, quickly on your last one, and then we'll get to the Hail Marys here. So
I'll make it quick. Gotta go for one that actually won Best Picture. That's freaking phenomenal, and it's one that so my parents are divorced. I went to go visit my mom recently, and we were just kind of hanging out, and she said Jordan, you're a big movie guy. Why don't you show me an all-time banger? Yep. Is it?
No, I know what he's going to
It's going to be Parasite, yeah, because, when we were watching, I was like, oh, have you ever seen Parasite? And I'm like, you haven't seen Parasite? Okay, we got to watch this one. Because I knew she would like it versus a lot of my superhero movies and then, like, other ones that I really like. And, like, maybe she wouldn't.
Hey, Jordan, you know what Parasite has? A lot of people talking in rooms. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, but like they do it in like a certain way that just
plotting
just really works. Like they're like because they're like plotting things, they're like moving things along. It's not it doesn't feel like it's like dragging to me. I don't know. Like it just feels like it moves at a pace and like they really get things done. But like I was absolutely blown away by Parasite and I saw it 3 times in theaters just because I was working in a theater part time just to get free movies, and so I was able to bring people to see it, and like there's some horrifying stuff in it, some stuff that's like borderline horror-esque, and then there's just the way that this family kind of worms their way into to these rich people's lives. It's just really, really fascinating. And apparently we're either getting a sequel or we're gonna get like a TV series. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a sequel. I think
TV series. I think.
Yeah, but anyways, S tier for Parasite. Yeah, and Bong Joon-ho's great. Like I've gone back to watch some of his. I watched that. He has like a big monster movie, like movie. Yeah. So yeah, but Wolfman, what do you say?
My favorite Bong Joon-ho movie is Memories of Murder. Definitely.
So
see that one.
Real quick, Wolf, that just arrived in the mail for me. My Criterion on when it was on sale. I haven't watched it yet, but it just arrived.
Nice. I need to pick up that Criterion. It's great.
Yeah, no, you recommend it.
Great movie, guys. Great movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyways, sorry, I didn't want to throw it off, but just want to put
No, you're good. Parasite was for a while. It was the highest rated film on Letterboxd. I remember when that was a thing at one point. And it was everyone was talking about, like, it almost came out of nowhere. Like it won the SAG, but like I remember everyone was saying it's between 1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it was like going back and forth. And then Parasite took it, and people were like, "Whoa!" And it was like this big history-making thing, and it deserved it. It wasn't my personal favorite of that kind, but it still was a phenomenal movie. Like this film just blew me away. Just like the writing, the pacing, the directing, like everything here is just exquisite. I actually have a screener for it that what I had back when I was voting for it at the Independent Spirit Awards, and it's a great film. Wish I could have seen it in theaters, but man, this is fantastic. So for me, yeah, I'll agree. I think S tier is a great spot for Parasite.
And another movie I was thinking of was The Host by Moon Jung-ho, which hopefully will show up in the best one. Well, actually, no, it won't be the best one word because it's The Host. It's not Host. Yeah.
Nope.
He also did Snowpiercer though. That's one word, I think.
Yes.
Go see The Host. The Host is awesome.
Snowpiercer is one word. Yeah.
But yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I love Parasite. I'm still a little sad that Moonlight's not in here or Dune's not here, but I can't hold that against the fact that you guys did put Parasite in here, and I think it's a phenomenal film. When I saw it, I heard about it from out of the Cannes Film Festival, and I was like, well, I got to see this movie as soon as possible. And I don't know when I ended up seeing it, but I saw it as fast as I possibly could at a press screening in like November of that year, and I was just absolutely blown away. and I saw it multiple times because I just, you miss things, so you have to see it again. But yeah, if you're going to put something in S tier, you got to put Parasite in, even though a couple of these other ones deserve to be in there too.
I don't mind having a foreign language movie up there. Like yeah.
You should do more of these. Good to see Zizou and Parasite in there.
Yeah. But Chris, what do you think about Parasite?
So I still somehow have not seen Parasite either.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really like it, but just as long as you're okay to sit and read subtitles,
I don't mind subtitles. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Zizou has subtitles.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from it.
No. Richie.
I went back around S tier. There's movie rules. Blue Land came out, and I encourage people to watch movies with subtitles because you're cutting yourself. If you don't like subtitles, you're cutting yourself off from a plethora of movies. I don't really understand what people. I've adapted to Austin's thing where I watch movies with English with subtitles.
I was going to say I watch regular movies in English with subtitles.
Same here, yeah. I do the same thing.
There's even if there's a movie and there's music in the background, I'll tell you what the song is. It's
exactly. It's great. You can look it up. It's awesome.
I'll tell you guys something real quick. I don't want to be harping on. If you haven't seen Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, some of the best subtitles of any movie I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, you got to watch a guy.
Yeah, that movie is phenomenal.
Richie movie,
it's great
with subtitles for sure. They're hard to understand. I also saw Talk to Me on the big screen with subtitles because that helped with some of the accents and stuff.
Australian. Thanks, Jordan.
I want to eventually see Guy Ritchie's.
Hey, to be fair, Richie, I kind of felt like I needed subtitles for like the Banshees of Inisherin sometimes.
Yeah,
things like that.
Sorry,
but
I
didn't catch some of that slang in there. A little bit. It's just for us dumb Americans, Richie. I'm sorry. Parasite's an A+ for me. It didn't work as well on the second one, but I still like it. So, anyways, be quick. But 4 and 1 will still be in there. It'll be kind of up there with like air and stuff. Well, I'll go back and figure out all these based on my votes later, so we'll get to it. All right, so here's how the Hail Mary works. We'll try to go quickly on this. So how it works for guys like Dan and Wolf and stuff who have done this before. Essentially, if there's anything that's still on the list that you think is like S tier, we'll basically just shoot for S tier. If there's anything you think is S tier still available on the list, go ahead and shout it out for me. Go ahead and make a little list. Let me know of each one, and I'll be looking for the crossovers. So the ones that get more than one shout out, we will then go back and do rapid fire voting for. So kind of official nominations. So if somebody, for instance, nominates Midsommar, but you also agree with Midsommar, like say that as well. So I'll do that, and then I'll go back and we'll do some official voting for those. But I'll be looking for those crossovers that get more than one vote, essentially, for nomination. That's what I'm looking for.
Just to let you know, I need to go soon, so I'll vote for the stuff in the Hail Mary, but I'll probably won't be around for the actual voting necessarily, just because I gotta jet out.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Richie, are you ready? Do you have your list ready?
I've got all this up here. I can get I can get some.
All right, hit me.
All right.
Yeah.
So Hustle is one I'll do. Minari, Coda. Searching, Missing. Pretty much it. Don't have really anyone that else I would. And Mandy. That's one I'd shout out.
Okay.
And also Elvis is something I'll probably shout out too. So those ones.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, cool. Well, I'll catch you guys out later.
Okay, well, I'll count those as S tier votes.
Thanks,
if
Richie.
they get crossovers.
Yeah, they're all S tier, so yeah, they might be.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, Wolfman, do you have a list ready to go? Try to keep it under 10 if you can, I would say. Just, if you have a lot or whatever, just try to keep it under that if possible.
It should be, it might slightly be over 10, but I don't think it's like super far. I don't think it's, I'll see. But
okay, just give me a chance to write them, so give me like 2 seconds.
Because I don't have like a list of 10. I have like my list of when I ranked them all like on, so I'll just, and some of the ones that we've already done are in that 10, so I just kind of have to like nudge around a bit. But some of the ones I want to mention is Silence, Tar, Booksmart, Patterson, Midsommar, Minari.
Hang on. I gotta write them down. So
Sorry about that.
I have to physically write them so I can see which ones I crossover. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Coda,
Okay.
Roma, and you know what? I'll show this film some love. Annihilation.
Okay, sounds good. Dan, you got a little list of ones you think are S tier still on the list?
I'm just gonna go down the list here that you guys got.
Or even IA.
Call a few of them off.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned Zootopia. Awesome animated film. Minari, Coda, Black Klansman,
Okay.
Deadpool, Lion, Rocketman, Dunkirk, Belfast.
All right, hang on. Let me catch up. Hang on. Okay.
Right on.
All right. I gotta write these down. So hang on. Okay, go ahead.
Elvis. A lot left. Silence. Yeah, it's not Midsommar. That's my last one.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right. Okay, Chris.
I do have exactly 10. So
Okay.
Elvis,
Okay.
Overlord, Megan, Soul,
Okay. All right.
Tetris.
Hang on. Slow down, people. I have to write these down. Slow down. Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead.
Extraction.
Talking slow motion.
Yeah.
Extraction.
Just give me 2 or 3 seconds in between each one, and I'll write them down. Okay, yeah.
Cop Shop.
Anyway.
Booksmart. Deadpool and Candyman.
I missed one, Austin. I want to add one. Can I add another?
All right, quickly.
Yeah.
Crawl.
Okay.
I love Crawl.
All right. I've got Searching, Midsommar, Pig, Mandy, and Coco. Those are my ones.
So, I mean, the most I can narrow it down, I have 11. Sorry, that's a little over 10, but even still,
Mine's 1 over.
I'll go slow enough to write them. So I have Deadpool. It's on there. You know what? Like I can go with 10 because nobody's gonna vote for life. So, but I wanted to just say it. But so I'm a fan of it. But I'll go Searching. I'll say Tetris. I'll say Scream. I'll say Prey. And then I'll go Elvis. I'll say Coco. I'll say Pig. I'll say Freaky. And Hustle. And that'll be all.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you guys got to give me a minute to write down the crossover ones, and then we'll do some quick voting. So talk amongst yourselves for about 60 seconds. Let me compile this list.
Yeah.
And it's not S tier for me. It would be like A, but I saw Arctic today, and that was also really good.
Arctic's good.
That's just a shout out.
That's a Liam Neeson movie that's decent.
That's
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. What was the?
I want to see it though, but
Liam Neeson was in when he was a plow.
Oh, yeah.
He was like the plow driver. What was it?
Oh yeah, you're thinking of what's the one where he's in like Colorado, but he's a
like
snow
Cold
plow driver.
Road or something. Whatever the
Cold
hell.
Pursuit.
It's definitely
Ice
like
Road Truckers or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's Ice Road. That one's different. Yeah.
But yeah,
I like
Arctic is
Cold
definitely the
Pursuit
best. Like
better,
it was the most realistic survival movie I've seen. Probably like it felt
that was
very like
I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot about that until you said it.
Next one on my watch list that I didn't quite get to. Let me see. Oh, I was gonna watch Becky.
Oh God!
Before.
If you haven't seen Becky, you got to do Becky, then Becky 2, and guess what?
Right.
I'm not gonna spoil it. But watch Becky and watch Becky 2.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that and then
I
Sisu
can't say
too.
nothing
'cause
else. I can't say nothing else. I don't want
haven't
to
seen
spoil it for you. Definitely watch Becky, then Becky 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that and
I've
also
seen
I
the
want to watch.
sequel. Yeah.
Watch Megan,
Wolfman, have
but-
you seen the
but I never-
Becky's?
I never-
I've seen the first one. I need
Oh, you
to
gotta
see.
see the
I need
second
to
one.
see the
See, I
second
don't
one.
want to
Yeah.
spoil anything for you guys, so I don't want to give it
Yeah.
away.
You gotta
But,
see 'em both.
the second one's better than the first one. But I want to say something, but I don't want to say it. I can't say nothing.
Well, just
I can't
know
say
that like what's his name, Kevin James isn't in the second one, so
no,
So,
but
yeah.
another popular icon of films of a certain era is in it. And he basically gets the same thing that happens to Kevin James. I love it how this director takes icons of like our pop culture that we love and just has them die in the most fucking vicious ways.
right.
You know this,
Yeah.
they're gonna die. You know these people are gonna die. I think.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'm ready to go. We've got 13, but this is how it goes. Literally, there's no pleading your case, debating. It's just I go to everyone for a letter grade. That's all I go. So just give me a letter for each of these. All right, and then we'll see what makes it up there. So, and if it makes the S or the A tier, I'll put it up there. If it doesn't, it just doesn't, and I just leave it. So we'll go silence, and I'll just go up the list in the same order each time. So Wolf, silence.
Absolutely S.
Okay, Dan.
S.
Okay, Chris.
Sorry, what was it?
Silence. The Scorsese.
Not an S.
We'll
Well,
give you a
What's the grade?
What do you get?
B.
Okay. B.
And I'll stay silent because I haven't seen it.
Okay. So it's a 2 and 2, so it's probably like in the A tier. So I will put it up there if I can find
Can't believe
it.
nobody said
So-
Arrival. That's crazy.
I don't like Arrival.
Well-
I hate Arrival.
Same here. I hate Arrival too.
It's A
Yeah,
tier
I
for
don't-
me, but it's not S.
Yeah.
It
I
is high.
don't like
It's like
Arrival.
If you would have had like maybe Stephen and Malcolm or something on here.
I hate that movie.
Oh, Arrival's a phenomenal.
You should have said it then.
All right, Midsommar, Wolf.
Midsommar. I'll say S.
Okay, Dan.
Agree. S.
Okay, Chris.
S.
S.
I'll say S. It's a
All
clean
right.
sweep.
So it's
For our first clean sweep.
well, we've
Yeah,
had-
that'll
we've
be
had-
high.
Two
we've
Ari
sort-
Aster movies.
We kind of
Yeah.
have a clean sweep. I'll explain in a minute. It might come into the voting. We'll see. I'll explain.
Richie.
For one,
Richie
yeah.
didn't vote.
Richie, he didn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
that one. He didn't have that one on his list though, so I don't know what he would rank it. But it doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
we'll just have to leave it out if it's on the
I'm only counting his votes as S tier votes when we get to them. So, all right. So, Deadpool, Wolf.
A.
Okay. Dan.
Agree with Wolf again. Agree with Wolf again. Hey.
Okay. Chris. Deadpool.
S.
Okay. I'll go A.
I'll say S.
Okay. So 2 and 3. So contender possibly for honorable mention. We will see.
Yeah.
So kind of put it up here. Now I'll go back and get the votes, and I'll play around with this in a minute. That's why I write everything
Yeah.
down. Hustle, Wolf.
Haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Gotcha. Dan.
C.
Okay. Chris.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. A.
I'll say A, but it's like at the very top of all the A's for me. So A.
Okay. So it's gonna be like low A. I'll throw it up there.
I almost want to say S, but I can't.
2 haven't
Okay.
seen it, and a C and 2 A's, and that's an A.
Yeah. All right.
Barely.
So next.
Really,
next
guys?
one-
Really? That's your
I think that's
math?
more B. I think that's more B territory, right?
That's what I was thinking. But hey, what do
Well,
I know?
it's Richie actually had Hustle as an S, so it's S, 2 A's, and a C.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be like around here somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I need to real quick make S votes for all of Richie's. So because the next one, okay, you got this one.
Okay. Yeah, because maybe
Yeah, I'm just doing that so I can count it in the overall thing. Let me just
Sure.
because I wrote his 7 down. Let me put a notch down for
Yeah.
each one of his.
Yeah, Austin does a lot of complicated stuff with the voting. I've tried to do it, and I can kind of do it, but
so I have a
not
system.
as good.
I have a chart that I do, and then I keep track of all the votes, and then it helps when we go back and vote. Like, it just really helps.
I mean, it's not as complicated as you would think. You're just keeping track of votes, but it's
I'm just keeping track, and then but it helps us when we rank these later at the end of the show. It just helps. Okay, so I've got all his down, so now we can just go down the list. Okay, searching is next. Wolf.
Ooh. Yeah, you know what? S for searching. There you go.
Okay, Dan.
C.
Wow.
Ooh,
really? Okay.
ouch.
Chris.
I haven't seen it, but I was bored of missing.
Really?
So
It's one of my favorites of the year. I'll go S for searching.
And searching starts with an S, so let's go S.
Okay, so 4 S's and a C. It'll scoot in there. All right. I'll scoot it kind of around there, and then again, I'll play around with the order later.
We have 10, so we'll see what happens.
Mandy is next. Richie gave it an S. Wolf.
An A.
Okay. Dan. Mandy.
D.
B.
D.
Oh, D. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha. Oh, wow. Interesting. All right, Chris, Mandy.
I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. Okay, I'll go S for Mandy.
Yeah, for this list, like I think Mandy's great, but when we're comparing these movies, C for me.
Wow.
Because I don't like the first half as much as the second.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna throw it in like a B territory or something, just real quick, since I see it. All right, so I'm trying to do this and keep track of the votes, so pardon the delay.
Sure.
Coda. Richie had Coda as an S, so that's a vote. Wolf.
Absolute S. I mean,
S.
Okay. S. Chris.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Jordan.
And I also haven't seen it, and it sounds like it's one we need to see. But
well, it's got 3 S votes because Richie had an S vote for Coda as one as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I know Jacob Barber's really high on it too.
So it's like a sweep, but it's like a 3-vote sweep, so it may be lower. We'll see where it ends up. We'll see.
If only we had seen it.
Okay. Richie had an S vote for Elvis, which is next. So Elvis, Wolf.
Y'all are not gonna like me for this. Elvis is like high D for me.
Really?
I was not big on that.
That's a
Right?
disgrace.
Not a Baz Luhrmann guy.
That's
All
like
No, I love Moulin Rouge, but
that,
that Elvis is
Dan, Elvis.
Elvis. S.
Yes. Okay, Chris.
yes. You're insane, Wolf. I love you, brother. But yeah, no.
My favorite Baz Luhrmann movie was still a Baz Luhrmann movie, which means A.
Yeah, and I would say S. Like I'm a huge Austin Butler fan, man. He needs to be in more stuff. He has charisma.
I mean, it might be C- for me, but right now I'll just do like D plus.
It's like how he became that guy.
Okay.
The performance was
funny.
incredible.
Him in Dune. He's not going to look nothing like Elvis in Dune.
This is a little side note, quick. I'll make it quick, but so like I was scrolling around Paramount Plus, and they had that Zoe like 102. If you remember the like Zoe 101 from like early Nickelodeon days with like Brittany or like Jimmy Lynn Spears, and Austin Butler was really in that show, but he didn't appear in the sequel.
Okay. So this is the last one that Richie had as an S vote, so I'll do that one as well. Minari, Wolf.
S.
S.
Okay. Dan, all right. Chris.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I also haven't seen it.
So
that's going like a not seen, probably, right?
no, it's 3 because Richie had it on his list as well. So it's same as Coda.
Okay.
Richie had an S vote for Coda and Minari, but they're 3, so we'll see what happens. All right, 4 more real quick. None of were on Richie's, but we'll still go on the horn because they have crossovers. Coco, Wolf.
A.
Okay. Dan.
B.
Chris.
It's an amazing film, ass.
Probably Pixar's best film in the last 10 years. S.
Yeah, I would agree. I'll say S.
Okay, so this one's going to be interesting. Some of these are going to be on the border and the chopping block, and we have to do some voting. We'll see.
Yeah.
Where it's actually getting loaded, but some of these will be honorable mentions. All right, 3 more. Pig, Wolf.
Pig, very high A.
B.
B. Chris.
This is tough. I mean, that performance from him is incredible, but you know what? It's a high A for me.
Okay, I'll go high A.
And I'll say S, but it'll be a low S, but I'll still squeak it in with an S.
Okay,
A.
I'll throw it
ATL.
somewhere around here. Okay,
Yeah.
Tetris, Wolf.
Haven't seen it.
Ooh.
Dan.
I love Tetris. It's got to be a B though.
What?
Yeah.
I love Tetris. But
All right.
you think it's not on the level of some of these.
I'll probably watch that one tonight.
Oh, it is. But anyways.
Chris.
It is his greatest performance in any movie, Taron Egerton. So
No, he was
that's
Rocket Man,
S tier.
and that
Rocket
should have
Man,
been nominated
Rocket
for an
Man.
Oscar.
Bullshit.
Let's not get into
Yeah.
this.
Also, I will say his show Blackbird, he is phenomenal.
Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
Blackbird. Yeah. Yeah, that's good too.
Anyways, Chris, Tetris.
S.
I gotta watch Blackbird. Damn it.
B, because Air and Blackberry are better business movies this year.
No way. I think that Tetris is way ahead of Aaron
Flamin' Hot
Blackberry. And
is up
for
there.
me, I'll say S.
Blackberry's not that good, Jordan, but Tetris is better than Blackberry.
Blackberry's
Not
great.
as good there.
Flamin' Hot is amazing.
Glenn
It's-
Howerton is amazing.
Look it up. Look
Blackbird.
up Flamin' Hot. You'll see some of the stuff. ain't
Glenn
real.
Howerton feels like he's in a totally different movie in that.
He might get a
that Blackbird
nomination
movie.
for best
He's in a
supporting
great
actor.
movie. He's great.
Oh yeah, because considering the
The
strike,
guy
people are
screaming the
saying
F
he
bomb
might-
every other word when
Speak
nobody
it.
else does it in the
Yeah.
movie.
Glenn
Nobody.
Howerton could squeak in for best supporting actor.
Michael Ironside does it all over that movie too, Jordan. What are you talking about? Anyways.
Well, like when he's with Glenn Howerton, that's it.
No. The last one is Booksmart, Wolf.
S tier, baby.
Let me see.
Okay.
B. B.
Dan, B.
B for Booksmart.
Chris.
I
S tier.
think there's nobody else to pick Black Klansman.
Nah, you were the only one.
Nope.
that shouted out.
Crawl?
So.
Wow.
Nope.
Jeez.
Nope. I'll go B for Booksmart.
And I'll say A for Booksmart.
Okay. So that's another kind of
Oh,
right in
God,
the middle
you
of A
guys.
tier. All right, so right around there. Okay.
Black
so,
Klansman's borderline for me, but Crawl, no, like not even
I
near.
love Crawl.
Yeah.
All right, this is easy. Get Elvis and Air out of there, and then you got.
well, hold
Yeah,
on,
no,
hold on.
no,
Yeah.
So there is a scientific process to the way we whittle these out. Is I go back and look at votes, what people voted.
Votes, the
So
votes matter.
the
Yeah.
votes matter. So I will start with the movies that are safe that had, a lot of S tier votes. Joker had like a 5-1, so it's pretty safe. Midsommar had a clean 5, so that's safe. 1917 had a 5 and like a not one word, but it's safe. And then let's see, anything else that had a 5? Logan had a 5-1, so Logan is safe. So kind of somewhere around there. And then nothing else had 5, so we go to the 4s. We go to the highest ranked 4s. Parasite had a 4-1, which is a 4 S's and an A, so it's probably safe. It had 4 and 2 B's, so it's close. Air had 4, 1 and 1, so it's actually somewhat higher than it. So Parasite kind of goes here. Air kind of goes right there. Hereditary had a 4 and 1 as well, so it's kind of up there above it.
Wow, above it.
Yeah. Searching had 4 and a C, so it's right where it is. So we'll see where it ends
You didn't
up.
put Hereditary above
Yeah,
it.
Hereditary didn't move above it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting there.
For some reason,
Sorry.
when you drag, sometimes it doesn't do it. It's weird.
Yeah,
You gotta
there we
the
go.
Other way.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, just snap it over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Elvis is a, let's see,
got 2
4
S's.
S's, A, and a D.
4.
So it's kind of
Oh.
right where it's actually below searching right there. Split is a. We get into the 3s now because that kind of starts at 3s. Split had 3 S's, 2 A's, and a D. Coco had
Probably goes below
3 S's and
Coda
A
and
and a
Minari
D.
because there were clean sweeps on the S's, right? But only 3.
but it's
Right.
only 3, so it's tricky. So
Yeah.
what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So everything up to Elvis is safe. So that is our 10. That is what will make the 10. Now
We can
what
vote
will
on those
happen
other
is,
ones.
no, what will happen is these 4 will be in contention for the honorable mentions. So what I'm going to do, so out of Split, Coco, Coda, and Minari, these are contenders for automatically for honorable mentions because they're going to get bumped down. Out of here. So actually, I'm going to move all these down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, blind spotting is gonna get the short shrift here. Unfortunately, sorry, because it only had 2. So out of these 4, then I'm pointing to you right here, Minari through Split right here. What I want you guys to do, and it's a good thing Dan's still here. I appreciate you hanging around, Dan, because this will help because 5 is no ties.
Yeah, so tiebreakers.
Yeah. So you're going to vote for the one you don't think belongs in those honorable mentions in that group. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like the one we would put in the S tier, right?
No, the one you would not have. It doesn't belong. So essentially, you're voting for your least favorite out of those 4.
Okay.
Makes sense?
That
Okay,
makes
so your
sense.
least favorite between Minari, Coda, Coco, and Split, your least favorite. Okay.
It's hard because half of us haven't seen Minari and Coda. But...
Yeah, so that's going to be tricky, but we'll see what happens here. So, Wolf, what'd you vote for?
As far as from my least favorite, I'd probably, and I like all these films, but I'd probably go Coco.
Okay.
Coco.
Dan, Coco. Okay. Chris.
Split.
I know it's hard to say Coda or Minari, but I have to go with one of those because I haven't seen them. So I'll say Minari is the least interested I'm in.
And so I was going to go Coda, but since you went Minari, I'll say Minari because I got to go with one of those. I haven't seen them, so it's just a toss-up. So
that makes it a tie.
No, that's okay, though, because now it won't be a tie because we have to vote between the 2. So it won't be a tie. We'll do a revote. Which one gets the boot, Minari or Coco? Wolf.
Coco.
Coco. Chris. Least out of the 2. Minari and Coco.
The least out of 2 between what?
Least favorite out of Minari and Coco.
Minari.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go Minari.
Why would we vote for that?
Because I haven't seen it, and I absolutely adore Coco, so I got to go.
It was a great flipping film.
Minari.
It is, but you guys don't understand how good Minari is.
All right, sorry.
We'll see it eventually.
We'll see it eventually. But okay, so those 3 are going to be our honorable mentions: Coda, Coco, Split. Those are going to be our honorable mentions for the evening. So now, and actually, I mean, I don't know if we have to. We'll do a little bit of voting here, but those bottom ones are pretty set because Elvis again had the 1D vote, and the Searching had a C vote, but that's still slightly more than Elvis, so it's going to stay right where it is. It's according to the votes with the 4 and the 2 Bs will be right where it is, and then Hereditary had a 4 and 1, so it's right where it goes. Actually, no, we got to vote between Air and Hereditary. Actually, we're going to vote between that.
Okay.
And then Parasite also had a 4 and 1, so this may be an interesting situation. But
you between those 3, or is it?
Well, Air had the 1B vote, so Air is going to actually be at the bottom of that.
Okay.
So, hang on.
Thanks to me.
Don't do it. Sometimes don't want to do it. You got to do it in like reverse order.
Okay, so we're going to vote between which should be higher out of Parasite and Hereditary. That's going to be the next vote. So Parasite or Hereditary, which one do you have higher? Wolf.
Parasite.
Okay, Dan.
Parasite.
Okay, Chris.
I haven't seen either one of these, but I guess based on the cover, I'm going to go with Parasite.
I would go with Hereditary.
I would go with Parasite.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so that is that. All right, so these other ones are pretty similar. Midsommar's
all unanimous.
Well, sort of. Let me explain.
Yeah, because Midsommar was like a sweep.
Midsommar was a sweep with no caveats. The caveats we have is Joker has 5 and an A. 1917 had 5 and a vote of not a 1 word, so kind of a caveat. And then Logan also had a 5 and an A. So those are actually the 3 we have to vote on. Midsommar had a clean altogether, so it's probably going to be the top. So let's just say out of those 3, which one would you have the highest? Out of Joker, 1917, and Logan. Wolf.
Logan.
Dan.
1917.
17. Chris.
Still Joker.
Joker. I go Joker.
And you even have to ask Logan.
Okay, so we'll have to do another revote, but 1917 will get bumped back, and then we'll do a quick revote for Joker versus Logan. Wolf, which one's higher?
Logan.
Dan.
Joker.
Chris.
Joker.
Okay, I go Joker.
Logan.
All right, so it stays right where it is. There you have it, and that will do it. Bam.
All right.
All right. So again, there's a process to it. It's very scientific, very complicated. But I know how it's done. I'm a professional at this point. So
yeah, just based on all the votes and stuff.
It's based on the votes, and that's how the votes throughout the show kind of factor into the final. So that's kind of how it works. But
and
do it.
And also, just a reminder, everyone, we are going to have a championship match with the top 10s from every single bracket. So, so all these top 10s, we will see them again in the championship. So
we take all the 10. So whatever it is at the end, 60 or 70, however many episodes we end up doing, we throw them back into the pool, and we see which ones are the best of all time, like ever, one-word titles.
And then also we're going to have a poll over on the Showdown Friends and Family that'll include all 10 plus the 3 honorable mentions will be in the poll, so people can vote on those and Gesundheit. But yeah.
All right. Okay. So, I'll break it down then, and let's wrap this thing up. What do you say?
Can't we just do 4 honorable mentions, guys? Come on.
No, we can't. We don't do that. We only do that. We only do that if we have a goofy situation where we have like 4 panelists and we have all these ties. We extend it to 4, but that's the only way we do that, unfortunately. So
you
guys are really screwing over Minari. This is a wonderful.
We'll be sure to watch it, and then maybe we'll.
Do y'all not watch all the Best Picture nominees whenever they like?
Not all of them, not all the years. That was those weird years where there was like no theaters and stuff. I probably would have seen it in the theater.
No, I don't even watch like a quarter of them because half of them are like period piece bullshit that I don't care about. So sorry.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, let me break
that
this thing
little
down.
kid from Minari is in a movie that's out right now called Theater Camp.
Such a good movie. That movie is fantastic.
What's it called?
Theater Camp.
Theater Camp. You saw? Yeah. Alan Kim is in that.
I don't give a shit about theater, so like.
What happened?
Yeah, same. I'm
not a big fan of the movie. I didn't like Alan Kim though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll send you the official breakdown. He's gonna read them
the official breakdown for anybody listening. We'll just wrap this thing up and then we'll get to the plugs. But our one-word titles from 2016 to now: number 1, we got Midsommar. Number 2, Joker. Number 3, Logan. Number 4, 1917. Number 5, Parasite. Number 6, Hereditary. Number 7, Air. Number 8, It. 9 is Searching. 10 is Elvis. And our honorable mentions for tonight: Coda, Coco, and Split.
All right, there we go. That'll do it. So
an interesting episode, all over the place, but we made it.
We're kind of all over the place at the beginning. Like we had a hard time agreeing to start. So there's a lot of movies that like some people might love that didn't quite make it, but we finally agreed on the top 10. So
we did. Yeah. It was fun.
All right.
And also, I was gonna throw up. Brian gave up his kind of helmet. Mary would have gone with Moana, Rocketman, Elvis, Hustle, Sully, and Cruella. So
I still would have personally put like Coda in the top 10, other than like besides.
Searching.
Can we have like a quick moment of like giving other honorable mentions that didn't even make the. Like,
if you want to, we'll do that as part of this plugs. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I was writing these down real quick because everything before I close out this damn window.
Yeah.
I'll have to pull it up later. But all right, here we go. All right, let's get us back on screen. There we go. But yeah, if you guys want to shout out 1 or 2 other ones, that's fine. And give me your plugs as well, and we'll go around the horn. So there we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Wolf first. So where can we find you? And also, do you have any honorable mention that didn't make the list?
So you can find me at the YouTube channel Mega Movies. I have a bunch of cool stuff coming up on tomorrow night. Actually, I think we agreed we're doing a drinking game of Jaws 3.
Jaws
3D. So that'll be fun.
3D.
Jaws
3D when I was 10 years old.
Yeah. Nice.
So that'll be exciting for Shark Week, because it'll be like
That movie sucks. I watched it again recently. That movie stinks. Yeah.
So that'll be a fun episode, and then also on July 30th, I will be doing my official like ranking of Christopher Nolan movies and such. So that'll be fun. You guys will want to tune in for that. And then there's just some other fun reviews. Awards Roundtable will be coming back here very soon to discuss kind of like our early Oscar predictions and such. So you guys can look out for that. Dan, we definitely want to get you on that show because I know that you're a big Oscars guy for sure. As far as honorable mentions, real quick, just I'll fly through these. Raw, I'd throw on there. Mass, Flea, Spencer, RRR, Revenge. Those are like the ones I would throw on as and Oppenheimer, but it's too new. So
that's 3 words.
Well, Mass, I didn't know. We pointed out the other night, directed by Fran Kranz, the stoner from Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. And it was like it was actually like incredible.
I need to see that.
And RRR is 3 words: rise.
Yeah, if you break it down, it's actually
it's again, but it's like it's
any acronyms or anything.
Yeah, I guess then if you don't count RRR,
except X, that was it.
If you don't count RRR, I would take out RRR and put in Barbarian as another honorable mention because
Barbarian, yeah.
Great too.
All right. Well, Dan, I know you got to get out of here. You got an early morning, but where can we find you, man? What you got?
Yeah, you can always find me at my name, Dan Skip, found on Facebook, Instagram, not Twitter. I don't know what the hell's going on with Twitter. Also, Letterbox. Letterbox. I'm not paying for a damn fucking check mark, motherfuckers.
No,
whatever, assholes. Letterbox. Also, I got tons of lists and I do a lot of stuff on Letterboxd. But I am doing a special series now called My Life, My Love, 50 Years in Film. And it's celebrating my entire existence from the year I was born till this year, 2023. Because I'm going to turn 50 in 2024, very, very early in the year. So
we're living in another time, 1923.
How are you 50, sir?
Yeah, big 5-0 here pretty soon. I've been getting... Yeah, I know. I don't look that old. The hat hides a lot of my age. So I've been getting friends, and we've been going through the years, 10 years at a time, and my films don't necessarily line up with friends, but it's fun to talk about my favorite films from each year, and then friends who lived those years and have. So I got 3 more episodes left of that, and it's going to culminate in the 50th year of my existence. So it's going to be a fun series. That's a multi-platform series that I'm doing. It's a Letterboxd, my website fromthefourthrow.com, and YouTube, where I do videos of my friends talking about their best films from those 10 years, while I'm also saying mine as well. But my website, I'm writing reviews and whatnot, going down the list. So it's a multi-platform special thing that I'm doing. Also, I'm a film critic in Orlando, Florida. I write for, obviously, fromthefourthrow.com, my site, and also disappointmentmedia.com, another site that I've been running for a while now. Also, I am a awards pundit on Gone with the Wind with our good friend Malcolm Lay. We'll be doing that on Monday. We got a lot of stuff. If you're out there and you want to talk awards with us, just hit Malcolm or myself up and try to work it out to get you on, because we it gets boring just me and Malcolm talking about awards.
Right.
Like voices in there. Also, I've been on 4 episodes of our other friend Best in Picture. Picture This with my friends Chad and Dylan, and I did the entire Godfather trilogy, 72, 74, and 90 with them, and also 1980 with them. So if you like the Oscars, you like awards, and you see maybe a little bit of revisionist history, Picture This is a great show, and those guys are phenomenal. So that's about basically everything.
Dan, me and you need to do like the Kens do to the Barbies in the Barbie movie and sit down and explain why Godfather's amazing to George.
Hey, Barbie's a one-word movie.
Like, I think it's good, but I don't
you're doing this because of Oppenheimer and Barbie, right? So you've got to exclude them. right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Seeing
But
Barbie, I think, in a couple days.
yeah, and
Maybe we'll
also,
do
yeah,
this
I'm not a
another
big.
20 minutes from now. You can do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I'm not a big awards guy, or else I would I jump on. What I do like though is like watching the highlights and hearing everybody's thoughts. So I'd watch Gone with the Wind, but then
or like watching you guys be like, if you were, deciding the winners, who would you pick as the winners? That sort of thing.
yeah,
You know
like
what
I watch
mean?
that, or just like the highlights from the Oscars. I can't sit there and watch the whole Oscar.
Yeah, listen to some people recap it.
yeah.
I've been watching the Academy Awards since I was 6 years old, 1980, and I'm still pissed off about Robert Redford and Ordinary People. Even though I love Robert Redford. I love Robert Redford, but I hate the fact that they gave that Best Director to him and not Martin Scorsese, and Best Picture to him and not Martin Scorsese, or David Lynch for The Elephant Man. What the? Or Empire Strikes Back didn't even get nominated for Best Picture. Don't even get us started.
40 years later and still pissed off. Right.
Yes.
Hey, once Won't You Be My Neighbor wasn't nominated for Best Documentary.
Yeah.
That's when I was
come on, 2001 2001: A Space Odyssey nominated for Best Picture of the year. Came out. Get out of here.
Three Identical Strangers, though, guys. Three Identical Strangers, guys, is getting a Hulu series starring Ben Stiller as all three brothers.
Awesome.
Ooh, this would be freaking phenomenal.
That's perfect casting, by the way. Perfect casting.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But
he's directing it too, I think.
But we'll go to Chris. Where can we find you? Do you have any honorable mentions or anything you can think of?
I'm trying to think honorable mentions. I mean, so I guess a movie that came up.
Any one-word title ones?
I gotta do this really cool. I gotta do this real quick because I realized I'm in my apartment and it's getting late.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for people to yell at us. But Unhinged is one of those honorable mentions that I think just stands out to me. It's one of the movies where I was back to cinemas. I mean, theaters are finally opening. Like, that movie just blew me away. Phenomenal performance.
Nice.
I mean, at Twitter, a writer_84, Instagram, cscott1128. I'm creating a lot of amazing content over on TikTok. I just completed a full series of 16 different episodes, trying to really get some eyes on it. It's really kind of painful getting something out there finally, and then kind of being like, it's slowly getting more views and more views on the series. I know it's a lot, but I'm pretty damn proud of it. Reynolds Wild West Wonder.
There's a lot of work. So
nice. Casablanca Kid, and we'll be having a season 2 coming next year.
Cool.
So.
Sounds good. I look forward to that.
And I'm now following you, Dan, over on Instagram as well, man. I'm in the middle of watching the latest season of Only Murders in the Building. This show is freaking incredible.
Oh,
so wait, is it out already?
It's got Meryl Streep and
the season before.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, season 1 and 2 are fantastic. Season 3, not that good. In my opinion, my friends, I've had friends that have watched it and they like it. But I just don't think it has the magic of season 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that.
With Paul Rudd and Meryl Streep, and it doesn't have the magic. But there you go.
We'll see if Martin Short gets any Emmys because he's not nominated.
He ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win. It's gonna go.
I was shocked they didn't do Steve Martin and Martin Short. I thought that was.
I know.
Stupid.
I'm gonna bounce out of your guys. It's been fun. Dan, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Chris. Yeah.
Have a good one, guys. Rock
I
on.
love your name,
later.
Casablanca. I love your name, Casablanca.
Thank you, buddy. As I said, man, it's my favorite movie of all time, Casablanca.
Well, we got to do an episode. We got to do an episode pre-1970. Just lump a bunch of stuff so Chris can vote for Casablanca as one of the great one-word movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's why I was a nerd.
We'll get there eventually.
I didn't even really talk to you
we'll
yet.
Get there eventually.
But I read some of your reviews, and I was like, no, we don't need no stinking names for your name I gave you.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys.
See you
Later.
See you later.
I definitely got a friend Chris on because he's got the Casablanca Kid. How can I go wrong there?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. There you go.
I'm going over here right now, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But Austin, what do you have going on? And do you have any honorable mentions?
Nah, not really. Everything on here was on here, so it's cool. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Tomorrow night, 2 shows. Like I said, me and Wolf will be doing that thing. I guess around 9:30, 10. I don't know, something like that. We'll talk about it somewhere around there. He'll send me a link. We'll do that. Drink some beer and watch a bad Jaws movie. Before that, at 6 p.m. Eastern here on the Movie Hero Network, me and Jacob will return with a podcast about movies. We do these little 4-movie block reviews that seems to work for us. We're going back to our blind ranking show and going back and reviewing the movies we spun on the wheel there. So we'll be talking about a nice mix of movies. Final Destination 5, Bride of Chucky, Emperor's New Groove, and Zootopia.
That is interesting.
Zootopia is the wild card. Haven't seen this in theaters. I'm going to watch it tomorrow afternoon before the show.
We're getting a second one. We're getting a second one.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to go back to it. I haven't seen it in a minute, so I'll go watch that. But yeah, we'll be talking about those 4 movies tomorrow night. It's around 6 o'clock, so join us there. Not much else of the week. I think I got a lighter week this week, thank God, of shows so far.
I got 4 podcasts this week. Awesome.
Jesus, no, please. You should see my past week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Same here.
8, 9. I had 11 shows over the last 7 days, so I'm a busy boy.
It's because I don't have any screenings. I don't have any screenings.
I thought I had a lot with 8.
No, I'm a busy boy. Lots of stuff going on, but a little bit lighter weeks. That's fine. We got Lonely Marks on every Thursday night wrestling podcast here on the Movie Hero Network, and then the usual. I'll probably be hosting next week's tournament fights, so the animated on Friday. If I'm not Jordan might still be a guest. He might still be a guest, maybe via phone, but I'm going to be running the show,
via phone.
Just to make sure everything runs smoothly. So
how did we get the Westerns bumped down so far? That's what I want to.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We just had to shuffle some things around. We're getting there. I promise.
Yeah, we had to move some scheduling things around, so it just happened. So
I'm picking. I've been dying to do about Westerns. Did you think that was a good list? Did you like my list of Westerns?
No. The list works. I
that's a good list.
I couldn't find any omissions as far as I could tell. So I think you hit all the main ones. So we'll use the list.
And also, at some point, I'm a huge if y'all ever get me on the episode, but if y'all ever do documentary one day, whether it's
here's what we're thinking about doing for documentaries. We had an idea. We do occasionally these things called tournament fights battles. So everybody submits a list of their favorites in a certain genre. So
you're in the top 13 or so.
Instead of trying to pick 64 documentaries and not hitting everybody's ones, we may have everybody submit a dozen documentaries, and we put them all in a tournament. Their favorite documentaries, so that way you can champion your favorites. You can kind of sell it to everybody else if they haven't seen it, and then we still get everybody's. We don't miss anything because everybody's just submitting their personal favorites. So that may be what we actually do for a documentary episode, is we kind of do a battles episode where everybody submits a dozen or so, and we do that.
Works for me.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Throw them in there. So
that works for me.
That way you can champion the movies you really love and go for it. So
I can come up with
for me.
Because for sure,
yeah.
I love a good documentary, but I have a lot of blind spots. So for me, to just be find a bunch of new ones I need to watch. So,
but those episodes are fun because everybody, especially even if you haven't seen it, you can vote for it based on how the person sells it. The concept or the premise or whatever.
We've had a movie win an entire tournament because of how I sold it. So
I've gotten stuff into the Elite Eight. Awesome. I've gotten Elite Eight stuff based on just how I sold it throughout the episode. I mean, it's possible. So, we're gonna do that. I think that's the direction we're gonna go with the documentary episode, essentially. So that way, it's not just you have to include this, you have to include that. Trying to do a 64. There's thousands of documentaries. So many. So you just champion your favorites on the episode, and we'll just go with that. So that's what we do.
Hey, and I have an idea. I know we're still on the air, but we're gonna do Robert Redford, Paul Newman. We're gonna do Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman. But why don't we have the winners of both of them face off against each other? Those 4 actors, the best of the best.
We've never done that before. We'll consider it, but
that'd be awesome. Right?
But we're definitely going to do those face-offs for sure. Those episodes in the future. We got them on the docket, but Jordan's got so many movies on the docket. We'll get to all these eventually. We'll get to all of them eventually.
One of the things I want to do eventually, an idea that I have, I'll just throw it out there just to see what anyone who might be watching it. I thought about maybe doing a tier ranker series called the GOAT series, and you can have different topics. You could do like the best sport. You can go into sports. You can go to you're the best NBA basketball players, the best wrestlers. You could go into like like actors. You could go into like
You do best sports
like
movies.
anything. Yeah, you could do best sports movie.
Well, we
You could
already
do
did,
like a bunch of.
we already did a sports movie series and a tier ranker series. You can go back in our archives. We already did that actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
there.
Yeah. So what we actually
Yeah,
did
we
for
did
that series, you can go back in our archives and check it out. We broke it down by sport, and some of the more obscure sports we lumped in other things. So we did like a combat sports movie episode with boxing, wrestling, MMA, karate tournament, things like that. We did like summer sports, winter sports, and then we did the main ones: your football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, we did all
So
those.
we broke it down by sport, and we actually did those episodes. So you can go check that. So yeah, unfortunately, Dan, you weren't with us then. We already did that series.
I do. I got a letterbox list of the top 100
You get into like
movies of all time on my letterbox. So if you go
Like,
back to my letterbox, you can see.
Yeah.
I got to add a few because there was a few new ones over the last couple of years.
Am I following you on Letterboxd? I'm gonna see if I am because.
Yeah, you could pretty much cover any sport. You could cover music. You could cover TV. You could cover all kinds of different things.
Next
So
goal
there's a lot
wins,
of ways
guys.
that
I'm
you can
telling
go.
you, you're gonna love it. Next goal wins.
If it doesn't get delayed, if it doesn't get delayed.
Oh,
We'll
it's
see.
been delayed 2 years already. They cannot.
I know.
Searchlight cannot delay this again.
Spider-Verse just got delayed today, Jordan, indefinitely. So.
I know,
but
yeah.
They weren't finished the voice. They hadn't even started
Taika
the voice.
Waititi's my favorite director. So yeah.
Do you think it has potential, like Jojo Rabbit, to be like an Oscar contender? Or
I'm telling you right now, if they start knocking stuff out of 2023, next goal wins could slip in there. It's that good of a movie. I'm telling you. I haven't seen it. I've only seen the trailer. All right, you got me on here. It's Dan Allen, Dan Skip Allen on Letterboxd right there.
There you go. All right.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And like for me, I just want to see what the connection is with New Zealand and American Samoa, because there's so many crossovers between New Zealand and like Samoa.
Well, he's from there.
Like curious.
That's where he's from. He's from New Zealand, and those
he's from New
countries
Zealand,
have a lot of close. They're very close to each other, and like American Samoa is an island off the coast of New Zealand.
Because you have Sione's Wedding, or like a Samoan wedding that like Malcolm always brings up, this like New Zealand movie, and like that has Samoan people. There's a lot of Samoans in New Zealand stuff.
Maru. Keep an eye out for Maru. That was a movie that was considered for best foreign language film that year. Didn't make the list, but it might pop up this year. It might come out. That's a New Zealand movie. I saw Millie Lies Low, which is a New Zealand movie, which isn't the greatest movie, but it's interesting.
Oh yeah.
But
nice. And then like Whale Rider, that's another like
really
Whale Rider, yeah.
A whole nother ball of wax. Their Whale Rider is a classic, an absolute classic.
Yeah, right. but yeah, just getting into some of my honorable mentions and my plugs. Like my only honorable mentions probably aren't ones that would have made anything, but like I would have championed Blockers. I like that comedy. Barbarian. I would put Maggie on there, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. And then people haven't been like telling me over and over to watch the Chris Hemsworth Extraction movies, that they're actually good. I've never watched them because they don't look that good to me, but I've heard like people trying to champion them to me, so I don't know. You say no.
The first one is a cool one-take action scene. I'll say that, but that's like.
But people say that the second one's better than the first, so like I don't know. But
Maggie Jordan is 2015. You got to add it to that tournament.
Oh, okay.
Or
that's why it wasn't on here. Yeah, I was gonna say then it'll be on that one. Yeah,
it'll be on that one. Yeah,
nice. Yeah. Well,
Extraction's terrible.
Because we'll be doing the next one will be 2010 to 2015. For
2010 to 2015 will be coming up in about a month. And then you can find me on all the social media at Movie Hero 2121. You can find a lot of updates for the channel. You can find me on my personal Twitter and Instagram at Jordan83616. You can find us on Facebook in the Schmodown Friends and Family group, where you can find all of our polls over there. So if you want to go vote on what made our top list for some of these episodes, our Elite 8, our top 10s for tier ranker, that kind of thing, you can vote over there. And then it'll be a little quieter of a week because coming up next week, I'm going to be out of town. I'm not doing trivia. I'm not going to have Wheel of Movies this week. We're going to take a little bit off. It'll be 2 weeks until we do more trivia. It'll be just 1 week till we do Wheel of Movies. So that'll be back. But I will, while I'm out of town, I'll be doing the wheel spin for Wheel of Movies. So I'll be revealing what movie we'll be talking about. So that'll come up on whatever pops up on the wheel. And then we do have a Patreon, which I've been trying to put up some of our past podcasts and things like that because I wanted to add some more some graphics, kind of level them up a little bit with some more kind of editing and some cool stuff there. So I don't have a lot going on this weekend, so maybe I'll end up working on that stuff, and there'll be some more stuff on our Patreon. Which, if you go to our Patreon, it's patreon.com/moviehero, and if you go back to our main YouTube channel page where the big banner is, if you look in the bottom right hand corner of the banner, there's some things you can donate to the channel. That really helps us out, because we want to keep bringing you bigger and better content. We have some little icons that you can see it. We have a GoFundMe page, actually. We have a link to my Venmo's up there, even my PayPal, like it's all up there. So if you want to donate, it'll really help. And if you donate, you'll have guaranteed spots on the show. If you donate even $1, I have about 50 or 60 one-sheet movie posters from all my time working in the movie theater. I'll just give you one. You can pick whatever one that you want for donating. So that really helps us out a lot. And then if you donate a higher amount, then you can create your own episode for some of those higher amounts. You pick the topic, you pick the panel, you pick everything, and we'll just do it for you. So yeah, there's that over there. And then just what we have coming up on that tournament fights and tier ranker is a little preview of what we have. So next Tuesday we'll be doing the Battle of the Toms. So it'll be Tom Hanks versus Tom Cruise. That's coming up.
I want to get in it. If somebody drops out, I want in on that.
I think it's full right now.
But
if somebody drops
well,
out,
I know. I just said if somebody drops out.
I know. Yeah, that one filled up.
We'll let
quick.
you know.
People were all over that one.
Yeah, that one filled up quick. Yeah, we got a lot of fans of those guys. But then we're doing our big animation tournament to kind of round out our last tier ranker as a series, which was best animated movies of all time. And we'll be taking all the top 10s and all the 3 honorable mentions from every decade, and we'll be doing a big tournament. So Austin will probably be hosting that, and then I might pop in if I can make it work while I'm out of town.
Jacob will be co-hosting with me and running the bracket that night. So
because where I'm at, for whatever reason, there's just not a lot of Wi-Fi spots available, but I might just do it from my phone over data. I have unlimited data, so yeah, I might end up doing that. But and then we have our next mystery tournament coming up soon. That's coming up, and then also soon it'll be August 11th. Will be best with one-word titles from 2010 to 2015. Will be our next one, and then we're also going to be continuing with some geography, because we already did best movies with a city and best movies with the states. Now we have best movies with a country. I'll just tell you that there's a lot of America-based stuff on that one. So
yeah,
America. yeah, right.
There's a lot of movies. You can just do a whole bracket alone.
Team America,
movies with like the word America or American.
It's a lot of American, all kinds of stuff.
I wish I would have been on states and cities, man. Those would have been fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. But if you want to come on countries, you could do that for sure. So, but and then we're doing a friend of the show, Matt Majot's top 64, our friend from up north in Canada. We'll be doing his soon. Then we'll be doing our next ladder series bracket, which would be best movies of 2009. We've worked away from 2022 all the way to 2009, so that's coming up. And then we also have a tournament fight series. That's our best geek character series. We're on a quest to determine the best geek character of all time. We already did best Star Trek and best Star Wars characters. So next one will be best fantasy, adventure, and sci-fi characters that don't appear on any of those other lists. So that's going on. I've been kind of toying around with it, but I'll have to get some feedback from some of you, the guys that are involved with the channel, kind of to make sure that I don't miss anything. But and then we have best post-apocalyptic movies coming up, and then in early September we'll actually be doing Dan's his top 64 movies of all time. We'll be doing a whole episode for him. It'll be Friday, September 8th, so it'll be sooner than you think. So we'll have that one. And then, yeah, totally. And then I'll just throw a couple bonus ones at you. We're doing the Battle of the Batman, so that'll be Keaton versus Bale versus Val Kilmer versus Pattinson, because we already had a Ben Affleck whole episode. So
whoa, no George Clooney.
No, we're gonna do a George Clooney one.
We're gonna do a George Clooney versus somebody episode, like kind of a thing, because he's got enough of a filmography. We're gonna do a George Clooney versus something. So
so we'll be doing
like
that
Brad
one.
Pitt. George Clooney versus Brad Pitt. How about that one?
We already did Pitt versus. Didn't we do Leo
Yeah, we did
DiCaprio
Brad-
versus Brad Pitt?
We did Affleck
Yeah.
and Damon, didn't we?
We
So
did
you can't do
that.
Affleck and Damon. We did Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leo
Oh,
DiCaprio,
did you
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
So
was
we'll find
fun.
somebody to pit George Clooney up against for sure. We'll find somebody.
Oh,
But the
okay.
one that Dan's been talking about, Best Westerns, will be Friday, September 29th. So a little later in September, we had to push it just a little bit. But right before that, we'll be doing Best Marvel Characters too, as part of our Geek series. So that's another one that's coming up. So that's a little extended look at. Usually only do the extended ones after tournament fights and tier ranker. I'll keep it short on anything else that I do. But yeah, and then the last thing, last two things that I'll say is that in our Patreon, we also post an extended look at the schedule that goes about 4 months out. It's only for the Patreon members to see that far. So if you want to sign up, you can get first dibs and sign up for the episodes before they fill up. So there's that. And then also, if you haven't hit subscribe, if you haven't hit the like button, if you haven't shared the episode out, please do it because it really helps us out. We're on a big push for subscribers because in order to get monetized, we have all the views that we need. We need to get those subscribers. That's the hard part. So just tell all your family, your friend, anyone that you know to subscribe to the channel, and it really helps us out a lot. It's probably the most helpful thing you can do, even more than donating money. Just subscribing to the channel. It's free, so it won't cost you anything. But yeah, so that'll do it for tonight. So thanks again, guys, for jumping on this one. This was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so for Wolfman, for Dan, for Austin, for Casablanca Kid, for Richie, I've been Jordan, and we'll see you next time.